Hey everybody, this is Nerdad, and we are playing Baldur's Gate 3 again. So, last episode, we had a horrific fight against this stupid spider matriarch that did not go well, but at the same time, anyone, like to quote Firefly a little bit, anyone you walk away from, right? Um, yeah, so again, if you want to just see the absolute horror that was this fight, check out last episode. It was pretty rough. But the summary of it was that we had three party members down: Astarion with very few hit points, and the matriarch with 1 HP left. So it was close. It was close. All right, so today let's review our quest list. So we did learn last time that that Shadowheart has suppressed some of her memories as sort of like a sacrifice to Shar, so that she could serve Shar more effectively. I imagine that's going to have some major story ramifications going on here. Right now, we are searching the cellar. There is some pretty critical stuff that we're gonna find in here, especially like what they call like a key gem that will unlock some pretty sweet stuff a little bit later on. But let's just kind of go through again. So our main quest line is finding a cure for the uh, illithid parasite that we have in our brains, and we have a couple of different options that we've got. So we tried Healer Nettie. Healer Nettie was not a viable source because she's not the one that can do any healing. It's supposedly Halson that will be able to, but she did make us promise to kill ourselves with some poison. Not spoiler YouTube warning, I guess. I don't know if I can say that if it's against the terms of conditions or whatever, but we'll find out. But anyway, she gave us some poison to take in case we do start changing. Couple of other options. There's a goblin priestess that should be able to help us as well. Auntie Ethel has promised that she's going to be able to do it, but there's some other stuff going on with Auntie Ethel right now, like potential woman kidnapping that might be kind of an issue. The druid Halson is also has been doing some research on the tadpoles, so he might be a solution. And then there's also Lae'zel told us that there is a Githyanki Kresh nearby that has a purification ritual, which sounds incredibly ominous. That we can use to get rid of the tadpole. We have also discovered that the parasite itself. Someone's complaining about me not playing Final Fantasy 14 again. Imagine that. We also discovered that we can use the parasite to kind of mentally command others that are branded to do our will, which is pretty cool, but we don't know if the negative ramifications of doing that. So, we also have the Druid's Grove, where there are tieflings and druids at each other's throats right now. Kaga is kind of the one is a druid who is instigating that whole contention and tension, and we found some suspicious stuff with Kaga. We'll be checking that out hopefully today. One option for preventing some tension from the druids and increasing the tension at the same time is just flat out stealing their sacred idol that they're using to cast this big ritual that will seal the grove off. Little side quests. There is a weapon called the Night Song that we have out there. The Save Marina. Auntie Ethel is the one who supposedly took her. We have to question her about all that. And then there is a masterwork weapon like blueprints that we found. We gotta investigate that. And then of course we are searching the cellar right now. And then of course we have all of our companion quests. We won't be getting too terribly much into that here, but we do have a long rest coming up, as Funny Stein brought up, and a lot of times the long resting is where you will be talking a lot to your party. So what we're going to do very first is we're going to loot this whole area so that we get all the stuff.
I wonder if the gods are watching me.
Shouldn't be too much to loot from like these phase spiderlings, and I don't like the fact that there is still simple toxin on the ground. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and open this up, and I'll pull out this jug of water, and I'm going to have Nerdad toss that so that the poison is no longer all over the ground. Yeesh, that is not a very, very big splash. I think
No rest for the wicked,
Gale,
I see.
yeah, Gale has the rain spell attached onto his staff, so we'll just do that. Just do that. Don't give me that invalid target, malarkey. Bruh. Dude! Oh, jeez Louise, that's... I didn't even see that. That's from the, that's from, I think, the void bulb that I tossed. I know. Like, for what it's worth, the fight with the Spider Queen Matriarch took me about 2 hours to finish up. So that was way more crazy than I was anticipating. Alright, here we go. Rain, and there goes all the toxin off the ground. Alright.
All's well that ends. Not as bad as it
Oh
sounds.
no! Dang it.
What can I do for you?
Didn't mean to talk to him, but we can talk to him. Oh, and nothing for him to say.
Another
Cool.
step forward.
I just need to watch out for this caustic brine over here. I didn't see that because of the coloring, but we'll check it out. All right, and there is a poisoner's robe that the Spider Queen Matriarch had on her. It does an addition. Whenever you cast a poison spell, you do an additional 1d4 poison damage, which is pretty cool if I were to have the poison cantrip, which Gale does not. So I will be on the lookout for Gale to get a scroll of the, I think it's called poison spray? Can't recall.
And these things
All
have
right.
stayed interesting.
The phase spiderlings should all have, like, nothing in them. But I just want to make sure that I check everything, because you never know. You never know. They might have some really good loot. Oh, and oddly enough, they don't, huh? Did get a silk gland. Did I already get this one as well? I did. All right, cool. So with that, I'm going to have Gale move cautiously around this caustic brine, and then we can go ahead and group the whole rest of the group up.
No,
And there is
if not over.
a whole bunch of stuff to check out down on this bottom level here. Like this skeleton right here. Onyx ring, cool. 18 gold, that's pretty good. Little face spiderling down here. And it looked like there was some bones right there that we might be able to pick up, but no, there's this one. More simple toxin. That stuff will not go away, I guess. Alright, and just to be safe, we're going to go around the back way so that we don't accidentally step on that simple toxin, because definitely don't want that to happen. There is an animal carcass up here. Alright. And we're going to go up this little rock right here and check out if there's anything down here. The main stuff, if it wasn't clear from the creepy little glowing going on, is right down there. We're gonna check that out here in a second. But first, make sure there's no skeletons or anything that we wanna grab. There's a bone over there. I don't really care about no bone. All right. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and go down. And we're gonna check out this little glowy thing over here.
I feel a breeze. I wonder what's down there.
And of course they
After you.
say that. All right. So we're gonna check out this gem that we just picked up. This is called the Dark Amethyst. You see here, you can't shake the feeling that darkness seeps out of this heavy, orb-like stone. And these guys are just gonna keep on failing their saving throws because apparently that's what they do. All right. So they made a comment like, "What? I wonder what's down there," because they do feel a breeze, and I don't see nothing down there. So we're gonna avoid messing with that at the moment. But there are bats flying out of there too. I wonder if that's anything. All right, and with that, oops. We're going to take a look at the map, because I think we are just about done. Oh, yeah, make sure to long rest. Gosh. See, the first time you said that, Funny Stein, I was like, yeah, of course I'm going to long rest. Of course I'm going to. But, yeah, I've already forgotten. I'm a good player. Oh, skeleton over there. See, not time to long rest yet. I still have a skeleton to grab. Oh, cool, and a silver necklace. Those are nice. Those are nice for selling, I mean. All right. With that, yeah, we are totally out of short rest. We are gonna head way the heck back to camp. All right. And what I'm going to do is, whenever you actually start the long rest is usually when conversations kick up. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to everybody right now,
Gale is positively voracious.
just to see the side conversations.
Well, let him suck up all the magic he needs, as long as he doesn't snack on a Githyanki silver sword.
Let's see. Are you sure a creche is our only path to a cure?
Entirely. I was as devoted to my studies as I was to my training. Each creche contains a Zaithisk purification device. So I learned from the writings in the Kalir Library. The library was a gift from Vlakith herself, that we may gain total understanding.
Books are fallible as are those who write them. Total understanding, absolute nonsense. That kind of wisdom is very valuable. Yeah, I'm going to do number 2 here. Books are fallible, as are those who write them.
Not books, but slates. Wisdom so profound it is etched into stone. Truth as perfect as the queen who decreed it. Countless scholars roam the astral sea and beyond, observing the ways of our lessers, exploring planes so distant, order turns to chaos, and cold fires rage. The planes are ever quaking, and their peoples ever shifting. The Githyanki possess an eternity of knowledge. Yet we still collect more. Infinities upon infinities.
That whole the spear is covering the face of the person that I'm talking to is a problem. That's something that Larian, please fix. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and leave. We won't bother talking to her anymore. Let's go talk to Will.
Something to ask. Gale slurped that thing up like a horse with a carrot. I hope he got what he needed from it.
Yeah, how does the Blade of Frontiers end up chasing a devil?
Karlach's fires raged in Baldur's Gate before she escaped to Avernus, as my source told it. And she was planning to return. One of the archdevils Ariel's own. Chaos incarnate, a devil with pure fire for a heart. I made my way to Avernus to stop her. She fled from my reach. Even climbed aboard the Mind Flayer ship as it screeched through the hells. I followed in close pursuit. I can't bear to imagine the lives Karlach might be taking. The damage she might be doing.
Who is this source of yours?
A powerful friend with a keen interest in privacy. I'm sworn to say no more.
Let's move on to other matters.
What else is on your mind?
I've noticed your stone eye. Did you lose it in battle? Because, you know, people love talking about their...
A most vicious one, in fact. It's made from pure bloodstone, carved from the Galena Mountains just north of the Moonsea. A reminder that sometimes blood must be shed and sacrifices must be made. But that story is reserved for lifetime friends or calmer days.
Sounds like maybe he sacrificed his eye for his pact or something?
By all means.
Tell me, Will, how did you come to be the Blade of Frontiers?
My father once said, one does not pursue a champion's life. One merely answers its call. So it was for me. I was hunting near the Cloakwood when I heard it. A child crying out from a lone farmstead. I found him in the fields, flanked by goblins. His mother's corpse blared into the soil next to him. I don't remember much of the battle, but I remember drying the boy's tears after.
I like Will. His voice is super smooth, and he's just a good kid. He's just a good kid. Let's see, what could be finer than saving a life? And he named you the Blade of Frontiers. Whatever became of the boy, I wonder. Goblins, pitiful vermin, easy to kill, hardly worth getting worked up about. Yeah, what could be finer than saving a life? You must have felt proud.
Proud? No. Angry. Angry at the monsters preying on innocents. Angry at the so-called good gods for tolerating the cruelty of the evil. Angry at myself that it took so long for me to see the coast suffering. The frontiers demanded a blade. And so I heeded.
That might be a little bit of hint into why he decided, like why a guy like him, like a good kid like him, would go after like a warlock pact, like that whole abandonment of the good gods and everything. And before that,
Baldur's Gate, born and raised, the only son of a single father. He wanted one life for me. I chose another. We haven't spoken since I left the city. The classic drama. A staunch father and his rebellious son. Better than the blood slips his mind.
alright, we'll go ahead and leave. Hi, Withers.
Yes.
Nothing with Astarion. Talk to Lae'zel real quick.
Be wary of false promises. The missing druid, Halsin, was it? He may be talented, but only a Githyanki's Zathis can cleanse an embedded tadpole.
A little bit of conflict here, you guys. And we'll talk to Gale.
What's on your mind?
Oh, and nothing with Gale to talk about. All right, cool. So with that, oh, we didn't talk to Shadowheart. I don't think she has anything to talk about because I think we talked to her last go round.
So, Gale just consumes magical items like I do wine. We truly are a group apart. Nevertheless, as quirks go, that's a new one for me.
For me too. All right. And with that, let's go ahead and get a short rest, or a long rest in. All right. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take a quick look and make sure that there aren't any marks over people's
Lady of
head.
Sorrows, guide us. Did you want something?
I want to talk about all
Fine.
that's happened to us.
What's on your mind?
How am I holding up in your estimations? It seems a little needy.
I don't think I've ever had a confidant quite like you. And if I have, I can't remember them.
Because she sacrificed some memory here. All right. Well, with that, there's no new marks above anybody's head, so we're gonna go ahead and turn in for the night. I'm gonna save real quick and. All right. So I don't think I've talked to you guys about camp supplies. So these little pieces of food items and alcohol and tea and stuff like that that you pick up, they all have these 3 camp supplies ratings. And for a long rest, in this difficulty mode, you need 40 camp supplies in order to restore all of your hit points and restore like all of your spell slots and all of your abilities and whatnot. So what we are definitely going to do, because we have exactly 0 spell slots available right now, and we're also pretty rough on HP. We're going to go ahead and select all this stuff. And when you do auto-select, it doesn't always give you exactly 40, which is really annoying. So we are going to do a little bit of math here so that we can get the exact amount that we want. All right, so yeah, we don't need that. We don't need that. All right, so that one was pretty easy. Sometimes you have to replace things with a more mathematically sound equivalent, but in this case we had 2 little pieces of what looked like bottles of alcohol. That one was 1 camp supplies, one was 1 camp supplies. We were just able to take that. So full rest. Here we go. Boink.
You don't sleep well.
flitting between dreams and nightmares. Maybe you wake up because you know something is wrong. Or maybe you just get lucky.
Oh, hi there, buddy.
Shit.
Psst, language.
No, it's not what it looks like. I swear.
It looks like you're a vampire and you're about to suck my
I
blood.
wasn't going to hurt you. I just needed, well, blood.
There, in the dim firelight, you see him for what he really is. A vampire.
Oh, what?
To sanguine hunger.
I like that he, like, bares his teeth so that you can see that, oh, okay, no, for real, he really is a vampire, guys. Pick up a stake and lunge at the monster. I can't believe I didn't see it. We even found the boar you snacked on.
It's not what you think. I'm not some monster.
Well, I mean...
I feed on animals. Boars, deer, kobolds, whatever I can get. I'm just too slow right now. Too weak. If I just had a little blood, I could think clearer. Fight better.
I can stop anytime. I can stop anytime. This doesn't define me.
Sensation courses through you, and your companion's mind unfolds, secrets half revealed.
Ooh. I do kind of want to push into his mind. Yeah, I'll hold off on that. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of, like, pushing into my companion's mind, because I assume that they're going to tell me everything about themselves eventually over the course of the story. So I don't feel the need to risk, like, them getting angry at me for pushing into their brains. So why didn't you tell me?
At best, I was sure you'd say no. More likely, you'd ram a stake through my ribs. No. I needed you to trust me. And you can trust me.
Yeah, that's a little suspicious. You know, he's like, I only feed on animals like boar and rats and deer. As he's, like, hovering over your neck with the fangs, like, about to, yeah. Leave. If I ever see you again, I'll kill you. You tried to bite me. How can I trust you? I'll do this one. Just because, you know, Astarian's done a lot for the party. Like, he's... Oh, snuck in shadows. But, I mean, he's done other stuff, too. Oh, like, backstab people. But no, he's actually pretty good at... Oh, wait, no, he did a whole lot of pickpocketing on my behalf, too. I'm still gonna do this one.
Thank you. Do you think you could trust me just a little further? I only need a taste. I swear.
This doesn't define me. Astarian, you have a problem, man. Alright, fine, but not a drop more than you need. Alright, but go too far and I'll drive a stake through your chest. Are you mad? No. I'm gonna go ahead. We'll do fine, but not a drop more than you need.
Really?
It's all for the approval, you guys. It's all for the approval.
One drop more. Let's make ourselves comfortable, shall we?
Nerdad looks like he's going down for surgery.
It's like a shard of ice into your neck. A quick, sharp pain that fades to throbbing numbness. Your breath catches. Your pulse quickens.
Be a little weird if anybody woke up right now. Grab the stake and drive it into his heart. Let's see. I'm gonna do... Yeah, persuasion. That's enough. Yeah. Oh, and we'll go ahead and... Oh, scroll of charm person. Yeah, we won't do that. That was close. Oh, jeez. See those marks on the neck?
That was amazing.
Alright, chill, guy.
My mind is finally clear. I feel strong. I feel happy.
I'm looking forward to seeing you fight.
Shouldn't take long. So many people need killing.
It's all for the approval and it's all for the
Now, if you'll
bonuses that he
excuse
gets.
me, you're invigorating, but I need something more filling.
Jeez, dude.
This is a gift, you know. I won't forget it.
You watch as he stalks off, stronger, more confident, ready to hunt.
She's like meditating over there. Oh, I guess he is a half-elf. Don't half-elves get trance so that they don't, you know, have to sleep or anything? And, alright, so this is kind of interesting if you check it out. I am now bloodless, which means I get -1 to attack rolls, saving throws, and most ability checks. I'm going to have that for this next long rest, which kind of sucks. Yeah, it is a little bizarre. But Astarion has a +1 to all his attack rolls, saving throws, and most ability checks. I would much rather Astarion have the +1 to attack rolls than me. So, all in all, weird scene, but we are totally good with Astarion getting some bonuses here. All right, and let's go ahead and cast Speak with Animals for the day. And we'll talk to Scratch here.
Hope you're keeping well, friend.
Because Scratch made it into our camp.
Master. Friend. I stayed with him until I knew he was gone. I'll never forget him. But I'm glad to have met you.
Dogs are so sweet, you guys. And heck yes, we're gonna pet him. Got some approval from that too. Look how happy Nerdad is from that too. Puppy. Alright, we'll leave. I'm gonna do a quick round of conversation here,
May the darkness protect you.
just to make sure nobody has new stuff to talk about. Here's your puppy.
The Blade of Frontiers at your calling.
Nothing new there. One other thing that we're gonna do here in the camp is we are going to hire 3 minions here, and actually, I'm gonna go ahead and have people leave the party here.
Lady of Sorrows, guide us. Did you want something?
We should journey separately for now.
If you're sure.
I'm sure.
Fine. I'll be here whenever you rediscover your taste in company.
Oh, and this is interesting too. Whenever Shadowheart leaves your party, for whatever reason, her mysterious artifact automatically goes into your inventory. This is going to kind of have, like, the mysterious artifact is obviously going to have some story ramifications, but spoiler alert, you're going to end up with the mysterious artifact in your possession anyway. We'll talk to Astarion.
Good morning. How do you feel?
My neck hurts. How do you think I feel?
Be grateful I'm not a true vampire, then. A bite from them and you might wake up as a vampire spawn. Like my good self. All of a vampire's hunger, but few of their powers.
Is that how you could stand in the sun, because you're not a true vampire?
Oh no. I should be cinders in this light.
That's awkward. We're in a cave.
I hadn't seen the sun for 200 years before we crashed here. Someone, or something, wants me alive. They've changed the rules. Standing in the sun, wading through a river, wandering into homes without an invitation. They're all perfectly mundane activities now. As for my other quirks, well, we can figure those out in time.
Yeah, so we will summon the burb again. The burb died last fight. Actually, no, 2 fights ago. I didn't summon it back for that nasty fight, which totally would have helped a whole bunch. But yeah, remind me whenever after we get the hirelings taken care of, and we will get the bird back. All right, what's causing this? The Mind Flayer's parasite? If I can help, just ask. We're in this together. Figure them out quickly. I don't want any more surprises. We're gonna do what's causing this? The Mind Flayer's parasite?
That's my theory, but who knows? I'm just glad you're being sensible about these revelations. I was worried people might turn up with torches and pitchforks. Although there's still time.
We're traveling with a vampire, are we? A word of warning, Astarion. I taste absolutely awful.
Oh,
Keep
Gale.
your distance.
Oh, Gale. I trust him. He won't hurt us.
Quite the opposite. I'm here in the spirit of openness and honesty to work together as a team.
You say all the right words, but I'm not so sure you mean the right things. Still,
That's a great
I
line.
will respect the decision that was made.
There now. We're all friends again. Shall we go?
The Starian's
There's a
great.
long day ahead of us.
Starion is great.
Yes.
Let's see. How does someone become a vampire exactly?
It's simple. Just find a vampire that will drink your blood and turn you into a vampire spawn. Their obedient puppet. In theory, the next step is to drink their blood. Once you've done that, you're free and a true vampire.
So they bite you, you bite them, in theory. Yeah, we'll do in theory.
People think the biggest threat to a vampire is a cleric with a stake. It's not. The biggest threat to a vampire is another vampire. They're scheming, paranoid, power-hungry beasts. So why would any vampire give up control over a spawn to create a competitor? Trust me, it doesn't happen.
They're like the Sith. Sorry, I didn't say that right. They're like the Sith. Tell me about your history.
Why do you insist on exhuming the past? I was a slave. A vampire spawn. Kept by the Tsar family. Perhaps I still am. I was never able to resist their commands. But now, I've been conveniently lost. They won't ever control me again.
Oh, he is cranky about that. So, about you biting me.
I've already apologized. What more do you want? Unless you're looking for another nibble.
Oh my gosh. Maybe later, jeez. I need to know how we'll feed you in the future. Yeah, let's do that one.
No innocence. You have my word. Only villains that we need to kill anyway. After all, you know what I am now. I can fight with all my weapons. Teeth included. And if I happen to drain the occasional bandit during a fight, what's the harm? They're just as dead.
This is actually I'm gonna discuss this ability here in a second, but it's actually a really good one. No, you can't feed on people, animals only. All right, but I'll be watching. Sounds good. Glad we could agree. We'll do that one.
As am I. I'm starting to feel a little peckish already.
Bruh. All right, and we're gonna leave him in camp.
Darling, I'm hurt. I thought we had something special.
Oh my gosh, Astarion. Please just stay here.
I guess I'll spend my evenings lounging here while you do all the hard work. It sounds awful.
All right, so in Dungeons and Dragons in 5th edition, the way that vampires work is that they have this bite attack. Whenever they do their bite attack against a target, it will reduce the 8 hit point maximum of that target. So if you start off, like for example, Nerdad has 31 HP, it gets bit by a vampire, the vampire does like 7 damage. Then his HP maximum would be reduced to, I can't do math, to 26, or sorry, 24. And that'll be his maximum until he's able to, I think, rest and get those temporary hit point, or those the maximum hit points back. If the vampire does the bite attack enough that it reduces the H point maximum, or H point, hit point. It's HP or hit point, not the both combined. My gosh. Or I could do hit P or H point, or we'll try to embrace it. We'll try to embrace it. If it reduces the HP maximum down to 0, and then if the vampire, or if anybody buries the 0 HP maximum target in the ground, then the following night it raises as a vampire spawn. And then I believe if the vampire spawn then drinks the blood of the vampire, then they will turn into a vampire themselves, I believe. I'll have to check that out. I don't remember that one.
Speak.
Is it me, or have you been looking at me differently?
I have a confession. I was too hasty to judge you. I thought you witless, gutless, unimpressively bland.
I mean, I used to, but I still do. And I thought you cruel, stubborn, and judgmental.
Yes.
All that is true.
I am cold as the sea of night. But you have stoked fires I didn't know I possessed. I swear, you would tear the horns off one dragon for plunging into another. You've gained my respect, and more still, my yearning.
All right, easy there,
When
Lisa.
I come near, your odor alone is enough to make my neck sweat and my hairs stand on end.
It's kind of weird that toad people have hair to begin with. I know, and it is kind of funny. I gave Astarion like permission to bite all the bad guys that we fight, and then I'm like, but stay here. It's like giving permission and then making sure like they're not in any sort of position to actually do the thing that you gave them permission. You know what? You know what it's like. It's like the stepmother in Cinderella. Oh yeah, you can go to the ball, Cinderella. Totally fine. If you get your chores done. Sorry, has anybody actually seen Cinderella? Am I? Is this a boomer thing? All right. If you respect me so much, then why are you such a prickly grouch?
You must know, Vlakith requires everything of her children. I can't count how many bruises I've inflicted. Can't measure how much blood I've drawn in the undying queen's name. I know only blood red and death black. My mind is silver, and my body steel. I am what I must be. Say what I must be. To survive every beast I face and every wound I bear. Bah, enough talk. I will do you.
I've been wanting a hot Yankee girlfriend. I'm flattered, but the answer is no.
One day soon, you will, and you will wish you could return to this lost moment.
Oh my gosh. All right, let's talk to Gale.
How can I help?
What do you make of having a vampire in our camp?
We all have our burdens, one way or the other.
So, okay, is Baldur's Gate a dating sim now? Baldur's Gate has always kind of been a dating sim. There's always been like romances and stuff in like all of the Baldur's Gates in all the Baldur's Gate games. Yeah. Not something that I've ever like been super interested in. I play Baldur's Gate to cast spells and hit things in the face, dang it, not to do romance stuff. If I want romance stuff, I'll read one of my Nora Roberts novels. All right, I need you to remain in camp for a while rather than
I
on
question
the
the wisdom
road
of
with
that
me.
decision, but so be it.
Perhaps
I'll
we'll
be
try to...
here in the meantime, idling away the hours.
Your team is so upset whenever you tell them to stay in camp. It almost makes me feel bad, but like, since I do this every long rest, it gets a little old. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we are going to manipulate some hirelings, and this is actually a super useful tactic for getting some really amazing buffs in place. So we're gonna talk to Withers.
Fate spins along as it should. Dost thou require a new ally? Or mayhaps a resurrection instead?
I would like to talk about hirelings.
Very well.
All right, we are going to recruit a hireling. All right, and so these are all like things, like guys that have had some association with the Absolute in some way before being murdered or dying in some unfortunate thing, and Withers just plucks them right back and pulls them in for your benefit. So, all right, we're gonna read the description of these because some of these are not like amusing, but they're, I don't know, they're kind of fun. Again, not fun. Fun's the wrong word. Amusing's the wrong word. These are people dying. But they're interesting. All right, Eldra Lutheran. Eldra Lutheran, slayer of people, monsters, and cups of sweet pear tea, was shown a watery grave when hunting Absolutist in the valleys of Keonthar. This is a barbarian, if it wasn't super obvious. Brenna Bright Songs. Rowdy crooning was silenced by an absolute blood butcher after a controversial performance in a Triel tavern. This is a bard. Zenith Furcell, once an optimistic Everescan Greycloak, journeyed to Faerun in search of a new sunrise. An absolute warband proved his dour father right. Zenith was doomed. Zenith is a cleric, and we will be taking Zenith as one of our hirelings. You can have a total of 3 for what it's worth. Danton was a refined druid and rearer of peacocks until he thought transforming into one would help him escape absolutist marauders. He was wrong. Once a battle-won veteran fighting for the Absolute, Varana learnt that loyalty to the would-be god did not protect you from the murderous whims of jealous generals. This is a fighter. Sienna Zenth's monastic preferences marked her a misfit among her kin, as did the illithid tadpole an absolutist forced into her mind. For this, the Githyanki slew her as an aberration. This is a monk. Kurz lived many years as a paladin and mercenary, years which took a hard toll on them. Befriending a group of pleasant ogres, they laid down their weapon and taught a rudimentary etiquette class before the ogres were attacked one night and Kurz once more took up their steel. So that actually sounds like a pretty cool little backstory. Most of these are kind of done, again, just in like an interesting or amusing or fun fashion. But yeah, Kurtz, I feel bad for Kurtz. He seems noble. He seems cool. Variel spent his twilight scribbling odes to leafy canopies, bushels, and the merits of the noble hedgehog. When he refused to join the Absolute, its forces tore his forest and body apart. This is a ranger. Madala's blindness was cured by another true soul passing through her village, so they could watch it being burnt to the ground around them. Such was the price of refusing the Absolute. This is a rogue. Jacelyn was born a sorcerer, the 7th son of a 7th son. The agent of the Absolute that killed him knew this, and is rumored to have remarked, "Probably should have left it at 6." Sorcerer here. Sorcerers are another good potential hireling to grab. We're not going to worry about it too much. Kree's penchant for killing folk with a mere whisper was prized in the Absolute's ranks, but the utter devotion to her patron was met with lethal disapproval. This is a warlock. And then Sir Fuzzalump, which is in contest for the absolute best name of any character that has ever existed in D&D. Sir Fuzzalump was much mocked amongst his playful kind for his dour demeanor and single-minded devotion to the magical investigation of cave moss. He claims not to have giggled in over a decade and has never frolicked. Okay, we will be definitely taking Sir Fuzzalump. We'll also be taking Zenith. And let's see, the other one that we will be taking is Danton. And I'll explain why Danton in a second, but there's a singular specific reason. So we'll go ahead and start with Sir Fuzzalump. All right. The real difficulty with this is that they start off already with like cantrips and spells known because they start off as level 1, but you have a little bit of control over what happens with them due to being able to level them up with your party, so like up to level 3 in our case. So subclass Abjuration, I actually... Visual Magic... I don't think this subclass is going to matter too terribly much, actually. Yeah, definitely not that. If you kill a creature with a spell, you regain hit points equal to twice the level of spell slot used. It's kind of nice, but again, it's not gonna help. The hirelings are going to stay in camp. I'm never going to bring them out of camp, but I'll show you what I'm going to be doing with these guys. Oh, it gets create water. That might actually be a little bit useful if I do want to take them out of camp. I might do the conjuration one. Hypnotic gaze, not that big of a deal. Divination, we know about divination. I can cast minor illusion as a bonus action, and you can do it while hidden. This is a really good one to do if you are trying to be like a roguish wizard. Illusion. And D&D 5th edition, Illusion is another one of my favorite wizard subclasses, just because it gets a couple of really cool abilities, like making your illusions temporarily real. And transmutation, you can brew 2 alchemical solutions instead of 1 when combining extracts, if you succeed a DC 15 medicine check. I might do that, because that is a huge boon. Like, if I get him... I'm probably going to have to respec this guy anyway. So yeah, I'll pump him with wisdom. I'll give him medicine as a bonus. Yeah, I'm going to keep him transmutation. Just want to make sure conjuration isn't something that I definitely want to go with, which it is not. So yeah, transmutation it is. And I guess the spells really don't matter right now too much, since I'm going to be respecking him definitely. His wisdom is a little high. I'll check and see what his... I'll do this for real, just in case I can keep him spec'd out as it is, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. All right, so what I am going to be looking for here are going to be spells that are buffs that last until long rest, and those same buffs need to be buffs that are not concentration. Bro's hiring a Lalafell to have someone shorter than him. I am a little height challenged. You know, I put on that whole paladin-y, like, you know, buff demeanor. But I am super concerned about my height. All right, so looking for buffs that last until long rest that are not concentration spells. So, for example, I'll see protection from evil and good. That's one. It looks like he already has the one that I'm looking for, but we'll check it out here. Chromatic orb, that's a damage spell. Nope, nope, nope. Disguise self is a possible one, but this is one that is like it's it's technically a buff. It lasts until long rest. It's not concentration. It's also a ritual, which allows you to cast it for free outside of combat. If there are situations where I do need to have Disguise Self, and for whatever reason I don't have Gale available, I might keep Disguise Self on just in case. It would be beneficial to have Sir Fuzzalump take the place of Gale. I'm not going to worry about it. Expeditious Retreat is a concentration. It is long rest. It is a buff, but it is concentration, so that's out. False Life is until long rest. It is concentration, but the problem here is that it is only castable on yourself, which kind of disqualifies it from what I'm trying to do. Featherfall is a buff. It is not concentration, but it's only 10 turns, so that's out. Find Familiar, we're not going to worry about. Ice Knife is damage. Enhanced Leaf, again, buff, not concentration, but it is only 10 turns, so that's out. But Long Strider is a perfect example of what I am looking for. So Long Strider is a buff. It increases a character's movement speed by 10 feet. It lasts until long rest. It is not concentration. So we're going to grab that one. Protection from Evil and Good is a concentration, so that's out. That's a damage spell. Shield is not a castable buff. Tasha's Hideous Laughter is a damage, and so, yeah, we have our choices. The question here is, yeah, we'll keep Disguise Self. All right, and then prepare spells. So I'll take a look at the spells that have already been selected. So Mage Armor is one of them, and if you'll notice, Mage Armor is another buff, not concentration, until long rest. I will be preparing this one. I'm going to take off all my damage spells here. Fog Cloud is another one that might have use outside of combat that I could switch in Sir Fuzzalump into the out-of-camp party for. Again, just in case Gale doesn't have spell slots, or even if I feel like I want to preserve Gale's spell slots, which might actually be good. As you guys remember, Fog Cloud is useful because you cannot see into the Fog Cloud, which means that Astarion has full reign to move around and lockpick things without people being able to see him. And we'll do Disguise Self, and we will definitely be doing Long Strider. All right. And the rest of these are damage spells. Sleep is not a buff. All right. So we'll go ahead and accept. And we'll do the level 3 increase here. All right. So same deal. We're going to be looking for buffs, not concentration, until long rest. Blur is only on yourself, so that is, and so I should say like a buff that is castable on your other party members. Crown of Madness, no. Darkness, no. Dark Vision is one, however. Detect Thoughts is an interesting one. I'm gonna put it on there. It is a concentration spell, and it is only on self, but just in case I need it and don't want to waste the spell slot on Gale, I might do that. Enlarge, Reduce, no. Flaming Sphere, no. Gust of Wind, no. Hold Person, no. Invisibility, no. All right, so Knock is another potential one that I could use to save a spell slot. Knock is kind of a third option for unlocking things that are locked, where the first two are Astarion uses his crazy bonuses to unlock whatever, because he's got a pile of lockpicking tools, or I just have Nerdad like shatter the thing that I was looking to unlock. With that, Knock is a far distant third to those first two options, but I might eventually take this just to, again, preserve Gale's spell slots. Magic Weapon is until long rest, but it is a concentration spell, so we're not going to do it. Melf's damage. Mirror Image is out. Misty Step is out. Phantasmal Force is out. Ray of Enfeeblement is out. Scorching Ray. See Invisibility. Again, not concentration. It is a buff. It is until long rest, but this is a self-cast thing. So usually if there is an issue with needing to see invisibility, it's like an immediate need that I'm not going to want to go into camp and switch out a party member for and then jump back into. So I'm not going to take this one. Shatter, Web, And so that is out. So we'll be taking Detect Thoughts, and we'll be taking Dark Vision. And for spell preparation, I will go ahead and remove Sleep and add Dark Vision into there. All right. And so I've got the gold. I'm going to go ahead and spend a little bit and respect Sir Fuzzalump.
I shall be here in thy camp.
Yeah.
For whenever thou hast need of my services.
Yeah, care to explain why you're helping me since we have...
Be assured, it is not
Oh,
my choice.
we've already had this conversation with him. Be assured it is not my choice. Can you help me change my class?
As thou...
So we are going to stay wizard. And again, for cantrips... Mage Hand is kind of interesting. Like, Mage Hand is I mean, obviously it's a cantrip. It's castable over and over and over and over and over again, but not in Baldur's Gate 3. It's castable on short rest. So I might keep Mage Hand just in case I need something to, you know, in case I need to use Mage Hand twice per short rest. I can switch Gale out for Sir Fuzzalump. No damage cantrips at all, though. We will do Minor Illusion. We will do Light is the other major one that we'll do here. Blade Ward is 2 turns, so that's out. And then these are all the damage spells. All right. So I'll review this again. Light is a buff. It will stay on your target until long rest, but you can only affect one target at a time. I believe this will stick if I switch Sir Fuzzalump out of the party, but we'll test that here in a little bit. Again, Mage Hand once per short rest. If I need Mage Hand twice per short rest, I'll give it to Sir Fuzzalump so that he. It's basically like giving us an extra Mage Hand spell slot for long rest, and then Minor Illusion, not too big of a deal. But, you know, it's the only other one that could be useful. Again, Minor Illusion is a good partner spell for Astarion stealing everything. All right, spells. Fog Cloud, yes. Grease, no. That, no. That, no. That, no. We will do Disguise Self. We will go ahead and do False Life just for the heck of it. Let's see. What were the other ones? Not Find Familiar. Enhanced Sleep. Longstrider was the other one. Shield, no. Featherfall is a buff, but that is nothing. Expeditious Retreat. I'll go ahead and pull it out there just because it is a buff. It is a concentration spell, but if I, for whatever reason, wanted to give somebody... Oh, actually, no, it's a self-cast anyway, so I'll put it on there just because it is a buff, and I don't care. I feel like I'm forgetting one. Oh, got Mage Armor. Okay, that was the other one that I desperately wanted. I'm going to review these real quick, make sure I'm not missing any. Find Familiar, yeah. Grease, no. That, no. Enhanced Sleep would be a nice one to have. I'll probably take that for my level 2 here. All right. Yeah. All right. So we'll keep up with these spells, and now let's go ahead and clear out his abilities, and yeah, we're going to crank up intelligence as far as it will go. And we'll crank up his wisdom as far as it'll go. Because again, wisdom is a medicine check. So yeah, we will definitely be getting that medicine check. And the reason for that is because I'm going to be selecting transmutation as his subclass, which means that he will be in charge of doing all alchemy creation. All right, and we'll go ahead and we'll do insight, I guess. No, actually, I always like having investigation. We're not going to be taking him out that much, but we'll do investigation. Investigation's a good one. All right. And we'll also crank up his strength. No, actually, I'm going to crank up his charisma. just in case we want to do some talking at some point. History times 2. That's pretty cool. So his history's at +7. That's interesting. And anyway, all right. So I'm happy with the way this is laid out. Intelligence, wisdom, charisma, and we will leave it at that. And then we'll go ahead and level him up just like we just did before. All right. Chosen subclass is going to be transmutation. Spells we are going to pull in. Let's see, we'll do Featherfall and we will do Enhanced Leap. Again, I'm just accumulating buffs as much as I can. Even if these are not ideal situations or ideal spells to be pulling in. Actually, I'm going to do Protection from Evil and Good first. Featherfall, I think Gale has Featherfall, so I'm going to do Enhanced Leap. Seems more practical. All right. Definitely have Longstrider and we have Mage Armor. Those are the big ones that we need here. Then let's get him leveled up to 3. All right. New spells. So again, we're taking Dark Vision. We're taking Detect Thoughts. Prepare spells. The spells that we will have prepared. We will have Dark Vision in there. All right. So now, let me show you what the point of all of this malarkey is. So, Sir Fuzzalump has just an enormous number of buffs now. We're going to move... Actually, the second row is going to be for concentration spells. This third row is going to be for self-cast things. Do Longstrider and Dark Vision. Oh, and then Mage Hand can go up there as well, and we'll just put that off to the side. All right. So these 4 buffs right here, what I'm going to do is, Gale is the only person in our party that does not have Dark Vision. So I'm going to go over to Gale. And even though Gale is not in the party, I am going to cast Mage Armor on him. I am also going to cast Light on him. And again, I'm curious to see whether Light sticks on Gale after Sir Fuzzalump leaves the party. I am also going to cast Longstrider on him. And because he is the only one without Dark Vision, I'm going to cast Dark Vision on him. And so now, if we look at Gale, he has got Light on him, he's got Mage Armor, he's got Longstrider, he's got Dark Vision, all from a bunch of spell slots that are on a character we're not even going to have in the party. That is why we use Hirelings. And we also get another Scroll of Revivify and some healing potions, which, I don't know if you guys know this, but we need after that last fight. All right. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go up to Nerdad. Same deal. I'm going to cast Longstrider on him. And really nice thing is Longstrider is a ritual. I am not going to cast Mage Armor because Nerdad and everyone else in my party is going to be wearing armor. Gale is the only one who will not be. Mage Armor gives you basically a +3 to your AC score if you're not wearing armor, which is awesome. Light is only castable on 1 target at a time, so we're going to leave that on Gale. And everybody else has Dark Vision, so that's not a big deal. But we are going to go over to Shadowheart. We're going to get her Longstrided.
And away I go.
And we are also going to do this on Astarion. So now I have my entire party all with 40 feet of movement speed, which is awesome. And with that, we're going to go ahead and hire our next hireling.
Fate.
Dost thou require a new ally?
I would like to talk about hirelings, and I will recruit a hireling. And this will be Zenith. And then we're going to go ahead and get the druid as well.
Dost thou require a new... Very well.
Yeah, we'll recruit a hireling. And we'll get Danton. All right. This should be relatively quick. I do want to take a look at the subclasses, just because there might be something surprising for the cleric and the druid for subclasses that, yeah, might be beneficial even for a camp dweller. Although, actually, sorry. This guy already has his... Yeah, he's... So this is a light cleric. Oh, all right. Whatever. Okay, so same deal. We're going to be looking for spells that... Okay, one big difference between clerics and wizards is that wizards have to choose the spells that they learn. So at the very beginning, you get, like, I think 6 spells that you can learn in level 1, and then every level after that, you learn 2 more spells, and then you can also, as you find scrolls, you can etch the scrolls into your spell book and learn the spells that way. Clerics and druids always have all their spells available to be prepared, and then you just prepare, a certain number of them like you would with a wizard. So, all right, Shield of Faith is mostly out. This is a concentration buff. I'm going to put it on there just because it is a buff. Protection from good and evil is a buff. It's not one that we actually want, but I'm going to leave it on there. Sanctuary is out. Bane is out. Command is out. Bless, again, it's a buff. It is a concentration. It is not until long rest, but Bless is such a useful spell that I'm going to keep it anyway. And then Cure Wounds, Healing Word. In case I need extra healing, these will be extra spell slots, so I'll have those ready if I need those. And then Create or Destroy Water. I'll go ahead and pick that one as well as Healing Word, just because... Actually, no. Cure Wounds, because I'll always be casting this inside a camp. So we'll do Cure Wounds, we'll do Create or Destroy Water. Again, this will just give us some extra spell slots if we need to wipe away water that's out in the world. Let's see here. I think that is it. Nothing really significant for level 1 spells for a cleric, but we'll get into the important stuff here. All right. So. Prayer of Healing, another really good one to have just in case I need a little extra healing and don't have the spell slots to do so. So I'm going to take off that one, and I'm going to add Aid. Because Aid, not a concentration spell, and it hits all of your allies if they're in range, which is going to be a little bit of an issue here, and but we'll try to deal with this as best we can. But it increases their hit point maximum by 5 HP, which is a big and awesome deal. All right, so Aid is definitely one. Lesser Restoration we do not need. Warding Bond is one of the most ridiculous things here. So I'm going to take off Bless. I'm going to put on Warding Bond. I will talk about Warding Bond here in a second. Protection from Poison is another one that we're definitely going to want. Calm Emotions, no. Hold Person, no. Spiritual Weapon, no. Silence. Silence is 100 turns. I love the fact that it calls out 100 turns. I think it's the only spell that does that for 100 turns. It's kind of amusing. Blind is such a cool spell, but we don't need that right now. And Enhance ability. All right. So. Warding Bond. Oh, we'll level this up. Okay, we'll talk about Warding Bond once we finish leveling this guy up. All right. So. Chosen subclass, Circle of the Land. Circle of the Land is kind of the caster subclass among the druids. Circle of the Moon is the shapeshifty subclass. And Circle of Spores is just kind of like this weird, like, debuffy, buffy kind of subclass. We'll talk about the subclass feature. So Wild Shape, they all get Wild Shape, but Circle of the Moon gets some benefits to their wild shaping. But so subclass features, you can assume the form of a beast, and you can transform twice per short rest. And these are all the wild shapes. You can go into Oh, that's just wild shape in general. All right. So a badger can burrow into the ground. Has kind of low HP. It's not super great, but only if you need to like burrow somewhere, which we might. We absolutely might. Spider is going to be pretty necessary because you should make them a Dark Knight. We will actually. So a little bit of context here. Okay, so Still Gaming again, as always, is talking about Final Fantasy 14. They know that I play Final Fantasy 14, so they are constantly making like FF14 references. But the Dark Knight is kind of interesting in Final Fantasy 14. It's entirely like anger and rage based ish asterisk. It's embracing like your dark side to fuel powers, and so the closest equivalent to that in D&D is, funnily enough, a barbarian, because it's all anger and rage based. It fuels other powers when you are in your rage, so it's kind of interesting. But whereas like a Dark Knight in Final Fantasy is like super like dark and sleek and armor laden, a barbarian is like hides and stuff like that. Not like enscones themselves from vision, but like wears hide armor and like preferably no armor, because you get like huge bonuses for not wearing armor. Anyway, the spider is going to be useful because there are a lot of like burrow holes that are across the land, and a spider is tiny and is able to crawl into those burrow holes. So this is nice to know about if you don't have a druid officially in your party, but you do have a hireling that is a druid. All right, Wild Shape Wolf. This can incite allies, which is they get additional movement speed on their next turn if you do this incite, and then it can also distract enemies, which if you nip at a target and distract it, if your attack hits, the next attack against the target from within 5 feet will be a critical hit. Okay, so I have to emphasize how important it is to force critical hits on things, especially when you have something like sneak attack. Critical hits in D&D 5th edition. So typically, like let's say that you're Astarion and you have a short sword, which he is and he does. Your short sword is going to do 1d6 damage, and then your sneak attack at this point does 2d6 damage. And so what'll happen is, on a critical hit, you double the amount of dice that you roll. So for most things, like if you've got like a mace or something that does 1d8 damage, you'll do a critical hit, and then you get a critical, hooray! Now you get to do 2d8 damage from your mace, and that's all fun. It feels good. Crits are awesome. But with Astarion, he not only doubles the number of dice that his weapon does, but he also doubles the number of dice that his sneak attack does. And that sneak attack, like, increases in the number of dice that it rolls pretty regularly. So this whole exposing bite is really, really incredible if you pair it with Astarion. Really incredible. But anyway, the Dire Wolf has a starting health of 18 hit points that increases every 2 druid levels. And then you have a shapeshift into a cat, which, just like the cat that you can summon as a familiar, it can meow, it'll distract enemies. Can be useful if you don't happen to have a familiar and you do want to have your rogue sneak into stuff. Cats are also really good for gathering things up for convenient AoEs. So they're good for setup. All right. Then we have Natural Recovery. This is replenish expended spell slots while out of combat. This is really cool. This is really cool and really potent. Circle of the Moon. So you can spend your spell slots while you are wild shaped to regain health. It's like self healing, because typically you can't cast spells while you are shapeshifted. This is really potent, really potent. They get all the same like wild shapes, but then they also get a bear wild shape, which has a starting health of 30 hit points, which I don't know if you can notice this, or if you notice this, but a typical level 2 druid has 17 HP. Bear has 30. That is a lot for level 2. The crazy thing with with shapeshifts, or wild shapes, I should say, is that they are overpowered every 2 levels, and they're a little underpowered all the off levels. So like right now, Nerdad has 31 hit points, which is better than what the bear is going to have at level 3. But then the bear is going to get a lot more hit points at level 4, which is going to put it slightly above the paladin. And so they'll keep on bouncing back and forth as to who has the most HP. But this wild-shaped bear, it does mean that a druid can be a super valid tank. And then Circle of Spores is another interesting one. Again, they get all the same wild-shaped stuff. But then for your actions, you you have a reaction that... So unleash a cloud of necrotic spores upon a target. This uses a reaction, so other reactions won't trigger this turn. Does okay damage, but it is all about action economy, so it is nice having a reaction that does damage. And then you can burn a charge of your wild shape to cast this symbiotic entity. So this is, you gain 8 temporary HP and deal an additional 1d6 necrotic damage while you have those temporary HP. And then you cast Halo of Spores with double damage. So this is kind of your wild shapey, like the Circle of Spores version of wild shape. It just gives you some pretty nice buffs. This is a cool little subclass, but it is pretty unique. And then you also gain Bone Chill as a cantrip. It's always nice to have extra cantrips. All right, but with that, I'm going to leave the prepare spells for right now, get him leveled up to level 3, and then we'll deal with the spells then. Oh, whoops! I did Circle of Spores, didn't I? I did not mean to do that. That was a waste of 100 gil right there. 100 gil. Do you see what I did, Still Gaming? I'd said 100 gil instead of 100 gold. See what you're doing to me? All right. So we'll talk about... Yeah, I get Burning Hands as a race feature. All right. So we'll go ahead and take all these out, and we'll discuss these spells and which ones we're going to take for a level 3 druid here. Ice Knife, no. Entangle, no. I am going to put Fog Cloud on there. Again, it could just save us on a... It could save us on a spell slot. Again, this one is only self-cast. It could be... Oh, does Circle of Spores have a free long rest buff? All right, I'll have to take a look at that. Because that, if they do, that might be super useful. Speak with Animals. Again, this one is exactly what we're looking for, but it is a self-cast only. So I am going to go ahead and cast it on my druid every day, on this hireling druid here every day, but it doesn't really gain us too terribly much because Nerdad does have Speak with Animals. Animal Friendship, no. Charm Person, no. Thunderwave, no. Healing Word, again, might be nice to have that. I will replace this in a heartbeat if I don't need it. Actually, I will replace it right now with Cure Wounds. Fairy Fire, we don't really have any classes in our party that have Fairy Fire, but Fairy Fire is a incredibly powerful spell. So all targets within the light turn visible, which means that it breaks their whole invisibility if they have it. and attack rolls against them have advantage. This is 10 turns. It is concentration, but this is such a good spell. Like this will allow Astarion to go just ham against an entire group of bad guys. Again, Enhanced Leap is a buff. It's not the ideal one because it is 10 turns. It's not concentration, but it might be useful. Longstrider, again, we have Longstrider on the wizard, so not that big of a deal. It is a ritual spell, so whatever. I'll go ahead and prepare it just in case. But Goodberry is the reason that I picked the druid to begin with. Goodberry, what this does is it will create 4 magical berries, and these berries are like dinky potions, but they're free potions. They will heal you. They will raise you up if you need to. So what you do is these will last until your long rest. So you just create the good berry, you hand them over to Nerdad, and just let him go crazy with them. And then Creator Destroy Water is another good one. Okay, now we start replacing. Lesser Restoration we do not need. Protection from Poison we absolutely will need, so we'll go ahead and pull that out. Pass Without a Trace. Oh man, this is such a good spell. It's not... it is a buff that's cast on others. It is until long rest, but it is concentration, so that kind of ruins the whole effect. But it is a +10 bonus to stealth checks, which is crazy. And it's cast on the whole party. This is so good for getting into position. Hold Person, no. Flame Blade, no. Gust of Wind, no. Moonbeam, no. Barkskin, such a good spell, but it is concentration, so it is out. Spike Growth, no. Enhance Ability, this is another really good one that we might pull in. We might pull this druid into the party, just in case, like, for example, Astarion really needs a lot of help with dexterity checks. Heat Metal, no. And then Dark Vision is the other one that we will be pulling in. We'll take off Cure Wounds. And I've gotten Dark Vision cast on Gale already, but we will just keep that nearby just in case we need it. All right. And so with that, I'm going to go ahead and increase this and rearrange things a little bit. I cannot believe I did Circle of Spores. I meant to... It would have been nice to have him as a Circle of the Land just so he gets his spell slots back, but I guess it really doesn't matter. And we will take a look at this free long rest buff that Funnystein was mentioning. But all right, Blindness, that is totally out. Protection from Poison, that is in. Halo of Spores is out. Bone Chill is out. In fact, I'm just gonna remove these directly. Whoops. Not what I wanted, my guy. We'll keep that around. I want to check that out later. Enhance Ability is a concentration that goes on second slot. Yeah, I'll put that over down here. That's a self buff that lasts until long rest without concentration, so we might do something like that. Wild Shape will keep down here. Thorn Whip, do not care or want. That is a self buff. We'll keep it over there. It's not that is a ritual. Well, that's pretty cool. Shillelagh is another great spell. If we ever get to the point where we take Shadowheart and like dual class her as a druid, which is very, very, very likely. The reason that we would dual class her as a druid is for Shillelagh, because that means that she would use her wisdom as her spellcasting ability whenever she casts Shillelagh on her staff or her club. And then Goodberry, again, I've talked about Goodberry, but because Shadowheart is a life cleric, all of her healing spells gain bonus healing, and that means that all of her good berries would have bonus healing attached to each and every one of them, which is crazy overpowered. So that's one of my favorite like multi-class things to do, is to have a seriously take one level of druid and then the rest all cleric. So anyway, this is going up. Longstrider stays. Detect thoughts, that's a self buff, so that going down. Shillelagh goes down. And Enhance ability is a concentration spell. All right. Let's jump over to our cleric now. All right, Warding Bond. Promise you guys I would talk about Warding Bond. Warding Bond. So, you ward an ally, they gain resistance to all damage, which is half damage, and a +1 bonus to their armor class and to their saving throws. And each time the ally takes damage, you take the same amount of damage. So, typically, you would be casting this on, like, you'd have a cleric in the party, you'd cast it on the paladin or whatever, and that means that your damage is effectively split among your paladin and your cleric. Still taking the same amount of damage, it's just split between paladin and cleric. I'm going to be leaving this guy in camp, which means half of that damage just basically disappears until the cleric dies. So, I will be focusing on keeping all of the buffs on all the other characters so that they don't disappear whenever the cleric dies, inevitably from Nerdad taking an enormous amount of damage. But this is why I picked cleric, is for Warding Bond. Prayer of Healing we'll put off to the side. Turn Undead can go away. Burning Hands can go away. Sacred Flame can go away. Rear to Destroy Water, that's going to be situational. I'll keep that there. Aid goes up here. Light, again, I can cast Light on another one of our characters to have a little bit of extra light. I might actually do that. There's Guidance. We'll keep Guidance down here. Scorching Ray goes away. Shield of Faith is concentration. We'll keep it down there. Fairy Fire is a great spell. We'll keep it there just in case. Protection from Poison is the other reason. The Druid has that one as well, though, so that's not too big of a deal. Resistance. Here, I'll put that with the other cantrips. And then Radiance of the Dawn. I don't need it all. And with that, I'm going to move these down. Got a little scratchy throat again today. I'm going to... Give me a second. I'm going to do some coughing on screen. All right, cool. Okay, so now, Warding Bond is going to get cast on to Nerdad, wherever the heck he is. Yeah, up here.
Some power for the taking.
So now Nerdad is incredibly buffed. This is such... This almost feels like cheating, but it's not. All right. Next up, I'm going to go ahead and cast Light on Nerdad as well. He's got Dark Vision, but it's always nice. Like, the Dark Vision is only in your line of sight. So, it only depends on what he is pointed at. Light is a whole radius of things. A whole radius of light, which is really nice. All right, with that.
Still alive, so that's progress.
So, protection from poison. Nerdad, as a dwarf, already has protection from poison, so what we're going to do is we're going to cast protection from poison on Gale.
Just the thing.
And we're going to cast it on Astarion.
Time to press ahead.
Oh, and the Druid only has 2 spell slots, and this is kind of why I wanted the Circle of the Land Druid. I'll do some offline research and see if this is really worth having, or if the Circle of the Spores is really worth having. I'm gonna go ahead and cast Speak with Animals on myself because it is a ritual. Doesn't matter too much. And then everybody should already have Longstrider, so we're good on that. So the rest of his spells are going to go into Goodberry. Oh, and actually, I can cast this on somebody so that they get the good berry. And you can cast this over and over and over again and get additional good berries. So we're going to burn all of our level 1 spell slots on good berries. And we're going to pass all this stuff over to Nerdad. Pass all this stuff over to Nerdad. And If we take a look, Nerdad now has 16 good berries. Each one gives us 1d4 HP, which is great. Which is just great. All right. So now, what I'm going to do...
No time to rest.
What I still need to do is I still need to cast aid from this guy. Oh, and I need to cast protection from poison on Shadowheart as well. So let's go ahead and do that real quick.
On my way.
Since this guy still has an extra level 2 spell slot.
I have just the thing.
Cool. All right. So now. Oh, and I didn't cast aid because I casted protection from poison. All right. Next level, the cleric is going to be able to cast 3 level 2 spell slots, and we'll be able to cast aid and protection from poison and warding bond. I would have preferred to have aid instead of protection from poison. That was a goof up on my part. But the trick with casting aid is that it does it in a pretty big radius around you, but Shadowheart is way the heck over here. So what I have to do is I have to kick these people, like all these people out, except for the cleric. Actually, I guess technically I just have to kick one of these people out. Once the hirelings are out, then I can take Shadowheart, move her into this little hideaway right here. Also move Nerdad into this hideaway as well. So, but anyway, move Shadowheart into this hideaway and then go into turn-based mode and have the cleric cast aid on everybody that's in this little alcove. It's a little bit of a pain, but this whole process is a little bit of a pain. But with that, we are done getting our buffs done for the day. Next time that we have a long rest, I'll be able to do this a whole lot quicker. And again, we'll be doing this every single long rest, so with practice comes speed and perfection. So we'll talk to Daniel.
This vessel is at thine disposal. Do what thou wilt.
So this is kind of interesting. Like, this is Withers talk right here. So we're going to ask, why are you talking like that?
This soul remembers its invective, but remembers not its tongue.
Though spoken with a different voice, you recognize the eloquent drawl of Withers, the wraith that summoned the hireling.
They are but echoes. They recall not a manner of speech. Thus, I lent them my rhetoric.
So this is one of my favorite parts of having these hirelings is they all have their different voices, but they all speak like Withers. And so it's great hearing like Withers talk with other voice actors. It's really well done. It's really well done. I'm surprised you have nothing better to do, Withers.
To speak thusly takes little of my effort. Besides, what better use is there of time than discourse?
Good point. Why do the hirelings need to speak?
Because you needed to speak to it. Because it feels correct. Fitting.
As long as the soul remembers how to fight, that's what matters.
These souls
sort of.
clawed
As long
their
as the
way
soul
back
remembers how to
from the
buff.
fugue plane for vengeance. The art of violence is one memory not lost to them, I assure you. Now, let us return to the fray.
Yeah. Yeah. Another Final Fantasy XIV reference from Still Gaming. All right.
This vessel is at thine disposal.
Return this vessel to my
Do
camp, Withers.
Thou art the master, so it shall be.
All right, let's talk to this one.
This vessel is at thy disposal. Do what thou wilt.
Here's Withers number 3. Return this vessel to my camp, Withers.
Thou art the master, so it shall be.
Do not like that hairstyle. I mean, it's clericy, I guess, but not a fan.
This vessel is at thy disposal. Do what thou wilt.
I am kind of thrown off. I always imagine gnomes as having like super high voices, gnome voices, you know, with like these. I don't. I think every gnome that we've met has been like, "This vessel is at thy disposal. Return this vessel to my camp, Withers."
Thou art the master, so it shall be.
There we go. All right, and let's get everybody back in party. We'll talk to Shadowheart first, because that'll determine the order that they show up in, and I don't want to have to deal with rearranging them.
Always a pleasure.
Lady of Sorrows, guide us. Did you want something?
Hey, she washed all the blood off of her face. Join me.
All right. Some company wouldn't hurt on the road, especially if there's trouble.
All right. And then let's get Gale. And I always do Astarion last. And the reason that I do Astarion last...
Go ahead. I'm listening. With pleasure.
Hey, and look at that. Both Nerdad and Gale are both still lit. So I always do Astarion last because on the keyboard, selecting Nerdad, who's going to be the primary person that I'm going to be selecting, is F1. And then selecting the last person in your party is F4, so it's a lot easier to find the F1 and F4 keys. So I put, Astarion is going to be my second most selected character, so he ends up getting F4.
Yes?
Need you in my party.
Darling, I thought you'd never ask. Lead on.
Astarion, man. Oh, he's fun. He's fun. All right, cool. And with that, we were actually super, super close to getting level 4, which is great. And we do need to do some rearrangement of inventory. This is this is so far going to be a pretty boring episode. It's respecking things. It's going through the whole long process of the daily buff. And the daily buff sounds like a newsletter for weightlifters. But all right. And then we're gonna do some rearranging here. So here, I'll tell you what. We'll do this individual by individual. A little bit easier to work with. All of these scrolls are gonna go over to Gale. All the arrows go over to Astarion. Potions are going to go, let's see, we got an elixir. Those stay here. Elixir, those stay here. Potions go over to Shadowheart. This water goes over to Gale. Oh, I actually think I was going to talk about my potion and consumable strategy. So I use the character's classes to help me remember where all of my consumables are. So, Nerdad is a paladin. Paladins are pretty well known for temporary buffs and auras that provide more permanent buffs. So that means that Nerdad gets oils, because paladins are known for like weapons as well. So oils are temporary weapon buffs. And then he also gets elixirs, which kind of match up with the paladin auras. Shadowheart gets healing and buffs in general, so she gets basically all the potions. Gale, he is very much a controller. He does lots of AoE stuff that controls the battlefield, so he gets all of like the grenade type weapons. So if we take a look here, he's got like, the caustic bulb and the water and the void bulb, stuff like that. And then Astarion is our sneaky stabby person, so he gets all of the poisons. And again, that's just kind of the way that I remember that. And of course, Gale gets all the scrolls as well. All right. So all my oils... Oh, no, these are my elixirs. Oh, and these are my alchemical things. Oh, one thing that I need to do now that I have a transmutation wizard is every morning I will need to make potions using him. So we'll have to do that. And enhanceability would actually be really good for that too. So I might burn up a level 2 spell slot with enhanceability as well. Things to think about. All right. Nerdad also has an enormous number of backpacks and stuff that I don't need at the moment. I do like having as many unique looking containers as I possibly can, so that it kind of helps me remember, okay, the light backpack one is for elixirs and the dark backpack is for oils and stuff. So just, again, my way of organizing things a little bit. And that did burn through a lot of our gold doing all that hireling stuff, so. All right. Potions. Oh, potions and the good berries are going to go over to Shadowheart. These are all sellable things, so we'll keep that. Soul coin stay. 4 camp supply stays. That stays. These are thieves' tools, so those go over to Astarion. Oh, one other thing that I need to do is I need to equip all my other party members with the best stuff that they have, just in case I need those as well. Since I'm already in camp, I'm probably going to take care of that. And oh gosh, yeah, we'll take care of that as well. All right, cool. Okay. Shadowheart also, if I have like unique items that I want to keep around just in case, I will give those over to Shadowheart as well, just because she has the carrying capacity to handle that sort of stuff. So leather helmets, I might want a leather helmet at some point for one of my... Actually, I'm going to pass that over to Astarion right the heck now. Leather helmets increase your dexterity saving throws by 1, which is great. Let's see. Nothing useful with any of these. Old floppy hat. I like that hat, so I'm going to send that to camp. I just like keeping unique looking stuff. All right, all of the books and stuff that are kind of quest related, I also give to Gale because he's my book guy. So the Apprentice's Journal, it's going to go over here. Actually, let me make sure there's nothing over here that I want to not keep. Yeah, those are all unique and quest related. Blacksmith Note, that is quest related. Bloody Journal, Burnt Journal. Move those over. That I'm going to sell. Highcliff's Journal. Oh, yeah, that was the, I think, related to the create the master class craft weapon thing. That stays. That's going to go. 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 Journal. Let's see. Tough Letter, Web Cover Journal. All right. I believe that I've read all these. I will... Whoop. Send those to Gale. What I will do for cleanup eventually is I will read through all of these. Things that I've already finished the relevant quest for, I'll send those to camp. Again, I like keeping stuff just in case. And then things that are not related to any sort of quest, but are just interesting information, I'll read those and see if there's any extra information that is relevant to a quest, and if not, I'll send those to camp as well. I won't do that cleanup yet, though, because that is, again, a little slow. Don't want to keep it too terribly slow, even though we're sorting through inventory right now. Breezy sandals, those look super comfy. Broom, we'll keep the candles. Carafe of water, that's going to go over to Gale. Food, yes. Cutting board, yes. Destitute clothes. All of this stuff is going to stay on Nerdad. Oh, holy water, that's a grenade that goes over to Gil. The Idol of Saloon, this is another really good example of a one-off thing that needs to stay in the party, so we'll give that to Shadowheart. Infernal Iron is another like quest-related thing that we will keep with Shadowheart. Large bottle, malachite. Lots of stuff to sell. We're probably going to have to go over to a vendor and sell all this stuff. Yes, whenever I play Final Fantasy XIV, I absolutely have this level of complication with my with my inventory, especially with the hirelings in Final Fantasy XIV. Oh my gosh. Yes, absolutely, absolutely it is this complicated. This is the level of complication that you can expect from me. Silver ingot, that is a quest-ish sort of thing. I'm going to leave that over with Shadowheart. Smoke powder satchel, that is a grenade that goes over to Gale. Oh, and this is an alchemical reagent. Oh, smoke powder bomb, I missed that as well. And water goes over to Gale as well. Okay. So that should be it for Nerdad. Although I am going to open up my alchemy pouch and drop off this alchemy ingredient in here. Cool. Okay, next up is Shadowheart. We're going to open up her thingamajig here. So you can see here, we've got potions galore. Potions and lotions galore. We'll go ahead and move those inside there. All of this malarkey is going to go over to Nerdad. Anything that I'm going to sell, I'm going to put on Nerdad, because he's my charisma guy. And charisma does absolutely affect the price that you can sell stuff at and the price that you can buy stuff at. Oakfather's Embrace is a unique thing, so that is going to go over to Gale. I keep all of my unique items on Gale as well. And again, he's human, so he has the weight capacity to handle this as well. All right, hammers are going to go over to Nerdad. The ball is going to stay. That's something I like keeping around. Supply pack, that is going to get sent to camp. This gets sent over to Nerdad because we're going to sell that. The mucoid shell, I actually don't know what this does, but I'm going to send it to camp. Ropes are going to get sold. That goes over to Nerdad. Genesis of Saloon and Shar, that's kind of quest related. I'm going to send that over to Gil. And then that should... Oh, we'll send these over to Nerdad as well. And he is encumbered at this point, so I might have to rearrange some things. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I'll move some of the armor back over to Shadowheart to just kind of redistribute some of this weight. We'll move... Yeah, we'll move all this stuff over to Shadowheart as well. We just have to remember, yeah, this stuff needs to be sold. And there we go. That should do it. All right. Over here, Poisoner's Robe. We're going to go ahead and equip Gale with that. Again, he doesn't have any poison spells right now, but it's nice to have just in case he does. In case we do find a scroll that'll do that for us. We've got all of these scrolls here. Oakfather's Embrace. Let's see. I keep all of my unique Gale consumable items inside this backpack here. And again, we have a lot of... what do you call these things? Books, notes, readables. All right. Holy water goes into the grenade section, and actually all of these will go into the grenade section as well. Oh, carafe of water is going to go in there as well. And all this stuff goes over to Nerdad. It's going to... Oh, not encumber him. Nice. Cool. I think that's it for Gale. And then all of this stuff is camp supplies, so that goes into camp. I'll move these weapons over to Shadowheart so that they don't... And this is an alchemical reagent that goes into Nerdad's alchemy pouch. This is a grenade that goes in there. Let's actually move all these scrolls into the pouch as well. Cool. Let's see. Ring and this, they all go to Nerdad for being sold. Shovels go to Nerdad. We'll sell most of those. Rotten eggs go to Nerdad. LOL. This is a grenade that goes in there. That's a grenade. That goes in there. All right, that should do it. Now we can actually go teleport over to a. Oh, and Shadowheart has something to say.
There's something I want to talk to you about. Something important.
Is now the right time? Well, now I'm intrigued. Do continue.
I could have died in that pod, back on the Nautiloid. You could have died, spending precious moments trying to free me, but you did it anyway.
That's right, I'm just a good person.
I owe you my life. I'm trying to say that you've earned my trust in a way very few ever have. I want that to mean something. I want you to know more about me, at least from what I can remember. As long as I've prayed to Lady Shah, I've wished to serve her as a dark justiciar.
Here we go, character
There's
motivation right
scarcely
here.
a greater way to fully dedicate yourself to Lady Shah, save perhaps if you become the head of her church.
Maybe one day.
To become a dark justiciar is to become the Night Singer's sword arm. Her implement with which she will cast down the unbelievers and win the final battle to restore her perfect, endless darkness. It's all I ever
It's a
wanted.
little creepy, Shadowheart.
I prayed it was my calling. But Mother forbid me from seeking to prove myself worthy of the rank. She said I was not ready. Not my mother, I should add. The Mother Superior, head of Lady Shah's enclave in Baldur's Gate.
History.
Sometimes I wonder if she would ever deem me ready. I owe her everything, and I only wish to serve, yet she can prove inscrutable.
This isn't dating sim stuff. This is backstory. It doesn't have anything to do with dating. My gosh. Well, that was a load of nothing. I'm not sure why you bothered telling me that. Do you think she'll ever relent and make you a dark justiciar?
I don't know. Perhaps if I succeed in my mission and reach Baldur's Gate. Hope has little place amongst Lady Shah's children. It's an illusion. A distraction.
I like the bugs that are all flying around her as she's talking about becoming like this
My time
evil,
will yet come.
evil representative of her evil deity. I don't understand. Why be so secret about such an ambition?
Dark justiciars are hated by many, judged to be ruthless fanatics. Even the few who would accept a follower of Lady Shah would likely balk at a justiciar in their midst. But there's a simpler answer to your question. I simply forgot about the desire I had until I saw some things that reminded me. Now,
like what?
I can't get it out of my mind.
So me being a paladin, is that what reminded you of being a dark justiciar? Or however you say that. I don't think I could pronounce that correctly. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, Shadowheart approves. Let's see. Yeah, we'll call that good. Look at all the light we've got in the party. We're glowing. Wonder if that's actually going to affect my stealthy potential here. All right. So we are pretty close to the encumbrance point, so what we're going to do is we're going to head over into the Emerald Grove environs and start selling some stuff. And we did do a long rest. I think the vendor's stuff resets whenever you do a long rest, so we'll see if there's anything new to steal. Buy. Oh, this brings back memories of reloading over and over and over again. But again, like, take a look at all the buffs that we have right now. So everybody has Long Strider, everybody is resistant to poison, Gale has Dark Vision and Mage Armor. All without spending a single spell slot in the party. See, okay, yeah, glowing does have a tendency to do that, but, you know, you never know. You never know. Why's my thing got a little purple dot on it? I don't know. All right. Let's talk to this guy.
Anything else?
Let's
Of course, but please.
remember, you're not the only one in need. All right. Selling stuff. Selling stuff. Oh, I forgot to look how much gold we started off with before this. I always like to kind of know. No reloading for children. Yeah, actually, let me look and see what scrolls he has. Oh, man. Oh, he does have Firebolt. Ooh, and Ray of Sickness. we might reload a little bit. All right, let's see if he's got anything else. No, I think we're good. Again, once we hit level 4, I think he changes up some of the stuff that he's got. So we'll have to take a look at that. All right. Yeah, continue to sell. Here we go. And who knows? Actually, the cantrip scrolls are pretty cheap to buy. Like 60, yeah, 60. I might just buy these outright instead of stealing them. And eventually, with all the stuff that I'm selling, like over and over, like I'm selling everything that I have that isn't bolted down. So I'm gonna end up with a lot of gold. So I can be legit for a little bit, I suppose. Oh, whoops. Keeping the cheese. Oops. Never been a... Oh, keeping the fish as well. I've never been a big fan of, like, these sliders. Should just be an option to, you know, say, hey, Larian, fix this! Like, just have an option, like a toggle that says, hey, sell the entire stack if you double-click on it. Heavy stones, I don't think that we need these, so I'm going to get rid of them. They were... The only place I've ever found heavy stones are in the owlbear nest. So, eh. I don't think they're worthwhile. All right. Keeping the cheese, keeping the fish, keeping the carrot, and keeping the apple, and keeping the pork sausage. Just because, again, I like having one of each type of food on me, just in case. Although I may have sold the wine that I'm pretty sure I had. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I used that up whenever I did a long rest. He's actually running out of gold. This is nice. If he does run out of gold, I'll go ahead and buy the 2 scrolls directly off of him, and then start selling a little bit more. Bottle. And we're down to the single items, which is awesome because he can just click, and go through a whole bunch of stuff really quickly. And he is now out of gold. Anything that... Oh, cool. I do still have the wine down there. Yeah, hey, perfect. Can sell these rotten eggs for 2 gold each.
Sylvanus.
And we'll go ahead and head over to the other guy and sell the rest of our stuff. Always nice having 2 vendors in one location in case you run out of gold. Oh, I did say I was going to buy those scrolls. Dang it, didn't I?
What will you do for work when we get to the city?
Looking for steel? I have, well, something close.
I like that intro. All right, let's see if he has got anything. Breastplate +1, nah. Short sword +1, actually. I am totally going to buy that. Morningstar +1. What do you have? It is about time to start getting +1 weapons. Like, these unique items are really, really nice, but the enchantment is where it is at. What do we got here? Light hammer +1 and hand axe +1. So yeah, I will be buying this. I'll be buying the short sword, and then we've also got light crossbows +1. Yeah, we'll get that for Gale, and maybe a +1 range attack for Astarion as well. He does have a hand crossbow, which I do want hand crossbows on Astarion eventually, so that he can use those bonus actions to fire from his offhand, and get more opportunity for sneak attacks. That's a big deal. So yeah, we'll probably be grabbing all that stuff. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I pickpocket this stuff, or should I actually buy it like a reasonable, respectable member of society? Let me know in the comments, or let me know in chat. In the meantime, I'll be selling stuff. Oh, you know what? I do need to be equipping people with ideal. I said I was gonna do that, and I didn't do that. I need to be equipping people with like ideal equipment. But you know what? I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it with like the junk, like the non-enchanted junk that I've gotten here. I'll sell all this, and then once I start getting more and more green and blue and purple and orange stuff, I'll start equipping people with that stuff. I'll sell 7 of these shovels. I do need 1 on my person. Commit crimes. I might. See, just random junk that we picked up, and that's 543 gold. That is fantastic. I'm gonna end up with plenty of gold. But, trying to be responsible. Oh, I actually want to keep those javelins. Makeshift spear. Yeah, we'll toss these javelins out. And a pickaxe. Alright, and that should do it. Oh, he doesn't have enough gold. Oh, no! Alright, fine. So, we're gonna have to buy some stuff here. Sorry, guys. Sorry. 202. Let's see. Heavy crossbow? It might be nice to have that heavy crossbow +1 on Nerdad, but I think he's got a might. 1d10's pretty good, and it is a +1. I might do it. Oh, definitely want this short sword +1. And the Morningstar. Alright. See, there we go. Okay. I know. See, that's what I'm thinking. I've got plenty of gold. I'm gonna have more and more gold as the game goes on. And I am at max friendship. So I may as well. I got that max friendship for a reason. This is the reason. So I may as well buy this crap. Alright, light crossbow +1 goes on Galefur. And that can go over to Nerdad. The Morningstar +1 is going to go over to Nerdad. And let's see. And the Watcher's Guide is going to go over to Gale. Actually, that needs to go in his unique item container. Short Sword +1 definitely goes on Astarion. Come on. There we go. Hey, this is another cool trick. Whenever you have a slot, if you click on that slot, it will show you every possible thing that you can put into that slot, including if that thing is equipped by somebody else. It'll have this little blue armor thing in the corner. And then it'll have a white armor thing if you have it equipped. But this is a really good way if you don't want to like look through your inventory and you don't have a good feel for what is in everybody's inventory. This is a good way to just instantly equip all sorts of random stuff. All right. And so not only that, I've got a steel forged sword, which, what is the difference between these two here? The short sword +1 is 5 to 10 damage, weapon enhancement +1. Steel forged is going to be a 1d6 as well, weapon enhancement +1. So these look identical. Yeah, these are identical. I don't even remember where I got this steel forged sword. But hey, I'll take it. All right, anyway. So that should do it for... Oh, I need to get these elixirs in place. Is this my elixir bag? Yeah, this is my elixir bag. So we're going to remember that the elixir bag is our... those are basically the auras. Auras are all light and glowy. So the lighter backpack is the elixir bag. That's like a mnemonic device or something. We don't have any oils. That's kind of weird. Seems like I should have some oils at this point.
Never a dull moment.
Looking for steel?
All right.
Well, something close.
What else do we want from this guy? Here, let's go. Let's just switch over to trade. We don't need to do any bartering. Okay, definitely don't need any medium armor. We're all heavy armor. Ringmail +1. This would actually be pretty good. So yeah, let's go ahead and buy 300 gold. That's a lot. Wait. Okay, so this is 15 AC and +1 on saving throws and checks. And that chainmail is 16 AC. The +1 to strength saving throws and checks would be nice. We're not going to do that, though. What do you have on? Chain shard. Oh, no, honey. Yeah, we'll get... Yeah, we'll go ahead and get this for her. Hide armor +1. Let's take a look and see what Astarion has on. He's got padded armor. It's a 12. Hide armor would be... Oh, this is medium armor. We do not want that. We do not want that. Never mind. All right. Heavy crossbow versus spell thief. All right. So it's time to be real. It's time to be real. The spell thief is such a good bow. It really is. But I don't use ranged attacks enough with Nerdad to ever land a critical hit with him, and that's the only time I'll get a level 1 spell slot back. This bow is really good for like a ranger. So I think I'm not gonna do that. I think we're gonna go ahead and get the heavy crossbow. Hand axe +1, light hammer +1. None of these are any good, so we're gonna leave it at that. Lots of arrows that I could swipe. I might do that. I might do some arrow swiping. I'll think about it.
Hells take me. What I wouldn't do for better.
All right, let's head back over to Aaron and buy the stuff that he has got. Yes, buy the stuff. We're going to buy the stuff. Oh, and something else I was going to talk to you guys about.
Someone there.
Whoops. Keep on moving, my guy. Astarion has a new ability called Vampire Bite. This is so cool. So, the target takes 2d8 or 2 to 8 piercing damage, but not if it is sleeping or if you are hiding. So it is. Excuse me. So what happens here is you bite something, and you instantly get like 2d4 healing to Astarion, which is like on the surface, like, you know, pretty great. That's a little better than a potion. So already pretty good, but it will also do 2d4 damage. It is a bonus action, which is awesome. Again, the damage is not fantastic, but it's pretty okay. But if you are hiding or if the target is sleeping, they do not take the damage, and you do still heal. If the target is humanoid, you become happy, and the target becomes bloodless. So this is what gives Astarion like the +1 to all attack rolls, saving throws, and most ability checks, and why I am at a -1 to all those. But this refreshes on a short rest. That means that every fight I can pick a single target, do this bonus action, and they will lose. They'll get a -1 on their attack rolls and saving throws and most ability checks. So it is a heal, it's a buff, and it's a debuff all in one, all for a bonus action, and it is pretty wonderful. Oh, and it is worth noting that biting does not break stealth if you decide to do it that way, which we're not going to do. Oh,
Can't give up now.
let's have him talk to the guy.
Need anything else?
All right.
Of course. But please, remember, you're not the only one.
What do we want from this guy? So actually, first off. Can I open up? Cannot. You know what?
So
we'll do a quick check on Gale's
Lovely
spells.
for now.
Oh, come on now. I'm just going to pull out all of these spells. That'll help us get a good view of what's going on. Well, okay. So he did have that ability, apparently. He just wasn't telling the main character about it. Totally different scenario. So it's fun. Even though you can fully control Astarion, he was still hiding stuff from you. Did I sort already? I did. Okay. You know what? Let's stack stuff up. Do some necessary hygiene here, you guys. Stack and stack. Anything else? Oh, yeah, here we go. And here we go. And here we go. I'm also going to have to do some offline organization of Gale so that I have all of his... like, I know which scrolls I need to be looking for and which stuff he's already got and so on and so forth. But let's take a look at what he can learn, and we should actually go ahead and learn this stuff. This will be pretty expensive, but I've got 1502. Yeah, let's just go ahead. I like my wizards to have as many spells as possible. And it's funny, this is me being like an obsessive compulsive collector. I will never use, I'll never use Shatter. I probably, I won't say never. I'll never say never. I probably won't use Shatter, but dang it, I want it in my spellbook. All right. So what's the... Oh, jeez. 1350. So maybe I will be stealing stuff. Maybe this was a bad idea. All right. Let me rethink this. I definitely want blindness. Burning hands. Yeah, we'll do that one. Charm person, no, I'm not. I'm probably never gonna have Gale be the face in the party. Chromatic orb. Okay, chromatic orb. I've talked about this before, but chromatic orb. You can pick any type of damage for chromatic orb, and the nice thing about that is when you pick like some of those specialty types of damage, it will leave a surface behind. So if you pick fire, it will leave a fire surface behind. If you pick ice, it will leave an ice surface behind, and these are potentially dippable surfaces that you can use for your melee characters, or not your melee characters. Heck, if you really, really wanted to, you could spend a level 1 spell slot and pop, a fire surface by your ranged people so that they can dip their bows and stuff in there. Totally up to you. So I am going to learn Chromatic Orb. It does have its use. Cloud of Daggers, no. Crown of Madness, yes. That is a pretty valuable spell. Dark Vision, not super high priority because I do have those hirelings that can cost that. Detect Thoughts, yes. Expeditious Retreat, absolutely yes. Gust of Wind, okay. Gust of Wind is another really, really surprisingly good spell. Pushes everything in its AoE back 17 feet, which is a pretty good distance, but it will put them off balance, which is a new thing from D&D 5th edition. So the off balance, the affected entity has disadvantage on strength and dexterity checks, and oh hey, look at this! Attack rolls against it have advantage, which is what I am all about, as you guys know. It is a pretty short duration though. It's only going to have them off balance for 1 turn, so you have to use it pretty quick. Haste is one of the best spells in the entire game. One of the best spells in the entire game. So I can't learn level 3 spells yet, but that will be on my list of stuff to grab. Lightning Bolt's a really good damage spell. Might take that one. Mage Armor, yeah, I'll go. I'm getting this from the hirelings, but just in case I want to have that on Gale, in case I need it. Magic Weapon's a really good spell. Protection from Evil and Good is a good spell. Ray of Enfeeblement. This one is nice. Weaken a foe. They deal half damage with weapon attacks using strength. This could save my bacon in some situations. To the point that, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take it for up to 800. Shatter, I will not be learning. I won't learn. Thunderwave is nice because it does push away creatures and objects away from you. It's a good savey spell. I'll go ahead and learn it. It's only 50. It's a level 1 spell. Web is really nice, and then I will not be learning Witch Bolt. So 950. It's not great, but we'll go ahead and learn them. Man,
let's get going.
That was expensive, and that did kind of inspire me to
Need anything
steal
else?
a little bit more.
Of course. But please, remember.
Doesn't everybody have bacon on you? Why would you not have bacon on you? All right. I do not have a Scroll of Feign Death. Here, I'm gonna switch over to Baldur just so I can kind of look at this. I do not have a Scroll of Feign Death. I did just do Magic Weapon. I do have Shatter. I do not have Invisibility. That's an important one. I have Detect Thoughts. That one's good. I do not have Blur. I would have thought that... I spent a whole lot more gold just now on learning that stuff. That's weird. All right. Ringmail Armor +1. Oh, whoops. I think I just bought one of these for Shadowheart, I believe. So, not needed. Chain Short +1, do not want. This is really, really nice medium armor, but I don't really need it right now. This is probably going to be the armor that I'll put on the Druid once we get the Druid in the party, but yeah, I don't need it right now. Armor +1, padded armor, do not need. Dragon's Grasp. It's a cool little unique weapon. Deals additional damage to targets that are already taking additional damage from being burning, but a little unreliable getting that set up, and not a super long amount of time that they will stay that way. All right, so other scrolls. Does Gale have Featherfall? Oh yeah, we definitely want these. I can't remember if Gale has Featherfall. You guys remind me. All right, 466. That's fine. I'll do that. I'll do that. I might actually need to buy healing potions, but those are pretty expensive. All right. So does Gale have Featherfall? That is the question.
Oh, I have the magic dust.
He does. Okay, so we don't need that scroll. Cool.
What to do?
All right. So with the enormous amount of gold that I apparently have still somewhere, let's go ahead and switch over to Gale and have him learn Blur. Blur is a great, wonderful spell. We're going to have him learn Firebolt. And so check this out. Ray of Sickness. This is actually the exact... Oh, no, it's not. Oh, I thought that was the cantrip. Dang it. No, I'm disappointed. Still, Ray of Sickness is a poison spell. Gale has that robe that is the Poisoner's Robe that does extra damage on a poison spell, so that might actually make this a little bit higher priority, even though I don't like poison spell or straight up damage spells as much. This one isn't technically straight up damage because it does poison the target, which means that they are going to have disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks, which is great, So I think for the duration that Poisoner's Robe is the best robe that I can have on Gale, I will probably have Ray of Sickness equipped and prepared and ready to go. So yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and take off Flaming Sphere, and I'll stick Ray of Sickness on there. Psst. Extra damage is important. No, I mean, for real though, like, I don't like damage-heavy spells. I just don't. But if I am going to use a damage-heavy spell, I want it to do as much damage as humanly possible. Or elfily possible, or I don't want to be speciesist. Alright. Cool. So spells that I have got prepared, I've got Shield. I will always have Shield. I will always have Shield ready. Tasha's Hideous Laughter drops people prone, which makes them easier for getting advantage and stuff. Really solid spell. Magic Missile. This is a damage spell, but it's a really good damage spell because it does always hit the target. So if I need to take out something, like Magic Missile would have been perfect for that fight that we had with the Spider Matriarch, because if Gale had been the one that was still up and they only had 1 HP left, Magic Missile would have been absolutely the thing that it would have been the perfect thing to have. And Grease, I always love Grease, so we're going to be keeping Grease, and then Ray of Sickness and Misty Step, yeah. Detect Thoughts is another good one that I might keep up in regularly. Detect Thoughts is concentration. It is until long rest, but it's really good to have outside of combat. And heck, if I know that combat's coming up, I can switch Detect Thoughts out, put in a more combat-centric thing into play, and just put Detect Thoughts back once the combat's done. So yeah, I'm going to take off Misty Step, and I'm going to put in Detect Thoughts, and I'll go ahead and cast that on myself. And not only that, but Detect Thoughts is a ritual, so it is just totally free to cast, so we'll do that. Detect Thoughts. Here we go.
Still alive, so that's progress.
All right. I think with that, we are good to continue onward. We're totally done with... Ooh, goodness gracious. With this one house and all the stuff underneath it, but we are not done with the Blighted Village yet, so we're going to head over to Blighted Village. So the whole out of combat thing, I want to emphasize like how good rituals are. Actually, speaking of rituals, see, this is what I'm talking about. rituals are fantastic because you get the full effect of a spell slotted spell, but for free when it's out of combat. And usually that's the only time that you even want it is out of combat. All right, so with that, we're going to take off Ray of Sickness. We're going to add in, because I totally forgot to get Bird back. So, Bird. See, this is one of those situations where I absolutely would not have remembered to bring the Bird back. All right, and with that, we're going to take off the Find Familiar, and we're going to stick back on Ray of Sickness. All right.
No one stopped me yet.
And we're going to go ahead and equip Shadowheart with that armor. We're going to equip Shadowheart with the armor. Equip Shadow... There we go. And we'll get him with the heavy crossbow. We'll move the Spell Thief over to Gale again. Oh, and these spells go over to Gale. Actually, I do want to learn Invisibility as well. Let's go ahead and get that going. Come on, Gale. Invisibility. Here we go.
Let's move.
I know I do kind of feel bad, like having stolen mercilessly from some of these vendors, and just going back and being like, "Hi, best friend." So remember, the paladin was not around with all the stealing was going on, so his character is still unimpeachable. All right. And yeah, Astarian's got his 2 short swords plus 1. This is going to make a big difference in how effective Astarian is. And let's see, we have a hand crossbow somewhere. Or did we buy that? I don't remember if we bought that or not. Here. Hand crossbow. We did not buy that. Dang it all. So that means we do need to go back and purchase that freaking hand crossbow. Hand crossbows, in both Baldur's Gate and in Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition, are incredibly important because they do allow you to shoot with your offhand. So you get 2 shots per round. Well, technically, with Astarian having 2 bonus actions, like if he wanted to, he could do 3 shots. Like 1 from his main hand crossbow, or his main hand crossbow, and then 2 from his offhand hand crossbow. I can't remember, was the hand crossbow at Eron, or was it at Dammon? I think it was Dammon. We'll check both. Let me know in the chat if I get there beforehand.
Seems like a good moment to talk.
Need anything else? Of course, but please remember.
All right, let's see what we got
You're
here.
not the only one in need.
It's a light crossbow. Yeah, this was not Aron. Yeah.
Sylvanus.
I am excited about this mace. Maces are pretty cool because if you miss an attack, which, especially today, since Nerdad has that -1 thanks to Astarian, he'll still do 3 bludgeoning damage anyway. It's guaranteed damage. Plus, it's got some pretty neat little extra actions. So this will daze the target, and dazing just makes it easier to hit them. It also it makes it easier to do wisdom effects on them as well, which is really nice. And this one's pretty cool too. So Heartstopper. This is an action. Possibly inflicts test trauma, which has disadvantage on Constitution saving throws and has 1 fewer action. That'll last for 1 turn, which really cool. I'll have to make good use of that. It is worth noting, in Baldur's Gate 3, you always want to check on the bonus, like, I shouldn't say bonus actions, but like the extra attacks that your weapons have. And you want to make sure that you are proficient with those weapons so that you get these extra attacks. These usually reset on short rest. In fact, I think they always reset on short rest. And they're really good. Like, most of them inflict, like, status effects. Like, for example, we've got the Vision of the Absolute, which is just a fantastic spear to begin with. But there's this rush attack, which gives you a little bit of extra movement, and it knocks them off balance, which grants advantage for 2 turns. It's really good. It's really good. And so, yeah, let's take a look at Astarian's extra actions. Yeah, see? See? Lanimus knows the extra attack's very important. So yeah, with a short sword, you can throw your enemy off balance, which will grant Astarian advantage, and this is a bonus action. So if you're Astarian and you just do not have advantage against a target, there's just absolutely no option. Hey, try using Flourish. Try throwing them off balance so that you can get that advantage on them. And then this one again, like a Piercing Strike. This will grant gaping or inflict gaping wounds, which does extra damage. It fits so well with Astarian's kit. And let's see, yeah, same thing. Piercing Strike and Flourish, cool. Yeah, guys, duh, that's right, that's right.
I have, well, something close.
I do like that he says that. And hand crossbow, here we go. Anything else that I want to grab from this guy? I guess not. Light hammer, yeah. All right, cool. So, because the hand crossbow, I really need 2 of them to get all of the advantage from it. I am going to leave Astarian with the short bow. Just because the short bow does a little bit extra damage. Although, I could have... Let's see. Let me try this. Let me try this. So I've got the hand crossbow. Can I equip a shield from that? No, I cannot. No, I cannot. Okay. So yeah, we'll leave it with the short bow for now. And then once we get a second hand crossbow, when's the grease only stream? Well, I don't. So Lanimus, I don't, or Lanimus, I don't know if you've been here for for some of the earlier streams when I kept casting grease over and over again, and I never got anything to fall in the grease. It was really annoying. We'll put these scrolls in this bag here, and we'll put the Spell Thief in his unique item bag. All right, cool. I think that does it. Now we can go back to the Blighted Village.
What now?
And what we're gonna do is we're gonna check this place out in a little bit. I actually want to go into this house first. Oh, were you here for the grease luck that I was having? And grabbing just about everything as normal. Hey, that's pretty cool. Camp supplies. Always want camp supplies. Oh, you can drag that stuff. That was totally an accident that I dragged that. I didn't realize that I can drag that. Okay. We might be putting the Blighted Village on hold for a second because there was this scuffed rock over here that I've been wondering what the heck I'm supposed to do with that. So, I just remember, the player isn't bad. The dice rolls are bad. You have to be considerate of the players. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We are gonna go over to the scuffed rock, and we're gonna take a look at what is underneath it. I didn't realize that you could drag those things and move them. I was assuming that was just like unmovable. All right. Where are we going? A little bit further down. See, another hey Larian, please fix this is they need to make it so that okay, all right, let me back up. You can set a ping by holding down Alt and then right clicking, and it will put a little marker on your map. There needs to be a way for you to put a ping on the map and have that show up like on the actual game world. That would be just ideal. Oh, we're doing this thing. All right, here we go. I'm excited. I'm excited. Oh, man. Hey, look at that. Look at all this stuff. There's a Harper's notebook and a ruby, Harper's map, 2 potions of speed. Potions of speed are really good. Yeah, let's take a look at this stuff. Tattered collection of reports held together with a moon and harp seal. There's frequent mention of a sacrilegious activity among a local Selenite sect. Huh. Maybe need to have Shadowheart read that. Since she's all like anti-Saluna. Gosh. Harper's are in that one movie. Yeah, so the Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves playing in your local streaming service. Great movie, fantastic movie. I mean, it is not a flawless movie by any stretch of the imagination, but it is a ton of fun, and I have never seen a movie or a TV show that feels like playing a session of D&D. They did a great job at like capturing the D&D feel. Fantastic movie, but Harper's play a huge part in that. So we're gonna read this again. I'm even going to send it over to Shadowheart and have her read it and see if she says anything with that. Which, okay, she's not. All right, this stained, ragged map has passed through countless hands. A little harp marks an area called Moonrise Tower with a small, inky crescent sketched in the nearby forest. Below the crescent is a more recent scrawl. Catch. Cool. Cool. And we'll put these potions of speed in there.
Let's get going.
All right.
Path lies before me.
So you guys help me remember. I wanted to go back to camp. There were things I wanted to do in camp. One was make potions, but then there was something else I wanted to do while I was in camp. If y'all remember what it was, let me know.
Time to rest.
All right. So that's exciting. I can now remove this marker. I feel like there was there's a locked crate. I wonder if I ever actually unlocked that crate. It'd be embarrassing if I had a locked crate down here and still didn't did not have a story and unlock it. Oh my gosh. How embarrassing. I think, was that my first roll of the day and it was a 1? Is that what we're doing here? It's okay. I have a whole stack of thieves tools. I can just roll again. That's more what I thought was going to happen. Gosh.
I've got a long road ahead.
And it's a leather helmet and 11 gold. How fun. All right, we can take that off now. I think that was it as far as things that I needed to check out. Yeah, the Emerald Grove. Oh, and there is a triple jump down in there. Okay, okay. I'll deal with that later. I don't want to go back into the Emerald Grove. I've been in there enough for this one. So, we're going to go back into the Blight Village.
One day I'll catch a break.
And now, we're going to go in here. Go ahead and save.
Tastes like chicken. No chicken. Tastes like fish. Gentlemen.
I love these ogres. I love these ogres so much.
This quarrel sours our feast. Besides, tastes like pork. And what surprise is this?
Lump the Enlightened.
Look here. I have eyed yet another prize. Fortune favors our bellies. Stranger, be you friend or food. The mark is her measure. Show is the brand of the absolute.
This ogre is like wildly intelligent for reasons that might become obvious here in a second. You're quite eloquent for an ogre. Not elegant. We haven't found the elegant ogre yet, but he's eloquent.
Am I not astonishing?
I love this guy.
Diet makes for a shrewd mind, you see. I am a gourmand. And you, a delicacy. Unless you bear the mark, of course.
Let's see here. You know what, I'm just gonna do I bear no such brand.
Food?
All right. I could have prepared a little bit better, but I'm not super concerned about... Oh, I should be concerned about these guys. Because they're level 4. This might be a problem. This might be a problem. I may have problemed myself. Oh, and I left Divine Detect Thoughts up again. Dang it. Okay. What? Read the poll? Oh, yeah. How do I want to handle this?
I'm ready.
Tell you what, we're gonna go ahead and have Astarion just do his thing, and Gale will do... No, actually, let's take a look. Let's take a look at spells. So we've got Shield, we've got Tasha's, we have got Magic Missile, and Grease. Grease, I think, is going to be something I use here. All right. I don't like doing this. I'm going to reload just because I did not adequately prepare Gale. That was my bad. That was a mistake on my part. So this is the legit reload. Just stupid stuff. I still have Detect Thoughts on. I do not want Detect Thoughts on. I want Gale equipped with spells that will actually be useful here in combat. Oh no! It looks like we're stuck.
Stranger.
But we will do the exact same do the exact same options here. Alright, I'll live with my mistake. Here it is. Fine. Alright, tell you what though, we're gonna have the bird go in. Oh, bird can't reach. Okay, we will not have the bird go in yet.
Victory is assured.
We will have Gale cast Grease right in the midst of these guys, though. Did y'all see that? I totally got all of them. I got all of them. That makes up for all the other times that I have tried to cast Grease. I am so excited. That's great. That is great. Move Kale out of range here.
Time to kill.
Oh, but you know what? I should have. Okay. How far can Astarion get in here? That's 68.7 feet. He's got 40 feet of movement, so that should be plenty to get him if I do a dash right now. Yeah, we're gonna do a dash. Okay. He goes in. Crack support beam, huh? Wonder. I'm a little iffy right now, because now is the perfect time to go and get these guys. You know what? I might. Oh gosh. I still have a bonus action, so let's. Now is the Grease only stream. Here we go. No, I'm gonna get my sneak attack in. And then I'm gonna pull the heck back. And you know what? I'm gonna dash one more time. Should I? Yeah, I'll dash one more time. And get him farther out of range. And then we'll end his turn. And the bird moves up a little bit. And we'll end the bird's turn. And end Gale's turn. No, don't get up. No, you don't have to get up. What are you doing, man? You couldn't even move out of the Grease. That's great. So yeah, this might be Grease only stream. Ha ha ha, you hit not me. Alright. So there's this crack support beam. I actually don't know what this will do. But that's why I wanted Astarion out of the way, is I'm going to shoot this thing. I don't think that did anything. I think that may have messed me up, actually. Okay. Alright. That's fine. That's fine. We're going to move Nerdad up, though, and get this guy threatened. So that we kind of have, like, a choke point here. I might do an elixir, though. Now's a good time to do it. Temporary hit points and blessed. That is pretty awesome. Not vigilance, not lightning resistance, not poison, and drink 2. I know that was a little embarrassing. Oh, I was thinking it was gonna be like this super awesome, like, you know, environmental thing that would be like drop the ceiling on the ogres and boom, done. But it did nothing. Alright, Elixir of the Colossus, drink to increase your size. Weapons deal an additional 1d4 damage, and you gain advantage on strength checks and saves. I will not do that. I am going to drink the Elixir of Heroism. Elixirs, again, are really cool. So now Nerdad has an additional 10 HP, and, like, perma-bless, which is really, really great. Because, again, Bless is 1d4 bonus to attack rolls and saving throws. That's a lot. That's a lot. So, yeah. Elixir of Bless. He got it now. Or not Elixir. Elixir of Heroism. Really, really good Elixir. Oof. Firebolt on Astarion. It is just Firebolt. Has the potential to do a lot of damage, though. I think I need to conserve things, so I am going to go ahead and use this Portent Die and prevent it from hitting. All right. Shadowheart. What are we doing? What are we doing? Next attack roll against this target has advantage. Oh, actually, first off, we need to get Spiritual Weapon up and running. Yeah, we'll do, Yep. And... You know what? I won't do blindness yet, but that is coming. That is coming. Yeah. So what she's going to do... Oh, I used up my bonus action. Casting Spiritual Weapon. Whoops. Oh, you know what she could do? These guys are both in grease. I think I'm gonna let the grease do its thing. I'm not gonna ignite it yet. All right, fine. Yeah, let's do it. Oh man. No, I am not gonna use a Portent Die there. Just let her miss. Gale's got an 18 for a Portent Die, so I am going to save that for when I really need that to connect. I really need something to connect, really. Okay, Spiritual Weapon. Here we go. Let's do... Yeah, we'll probably do a bleed here. Ah! Still a good hit, though. 10 damage is great. Would have been nice if we had gotten that lacerate, though. All right. Bird. Bird is going to try to blind this guy. Nice. And Bird is going to move away a little bit. Oh, I should have done a fly on that. Okay, into Bird's turn. And what do we want to do here? Have Astarion jump, but that uses up one of his bonus actions, and that kind of stinks. How are we looking on sight? Oh, could move over here and get stealthy. I do prefer to have Astarion in melee as opposed to having him sniping all the time. Or at least until he gets his hand crossbows, in which case it'll be roughly equivalent for me. So we're gonna go ahead and stealth, and he is going to start picking off. Yeah, I'm gonna have him do a hamstring shot on big guy. And he's hamstrung. All right. And can he reach in there? No, not enough. Cool. And you know what? I think I'm gonna go ahead and have Astarion hide again. All right, Gale, what you got, man? Oh, well, one thing that he's got is Firebolt. So I might have him cast Firebolt. Now might be the time to do Firebolt on this guy, but we'll hold off on that. Let's see. You know what? No, I'm gonna hold off on Ray of Sickness. I was thinking, so Ray of Sickness is going to give, you know, the guy disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks, but I'll save that for when... Actually, I might not save it. I might just use it right now. I'm gonna use it right now on this guy. Maybe not, because I don't have advantage. I take it back. Darn it. I'm just gonna have him pick off this guy from a distance. Yeah. Quicker we can get that guy down, the better. Dash, huh? Oh, and because we have a choke point here, this guy's going all the way around, looks like. Use concussive... Yeah. Do not react. I can handle dazed on Shadowheart, that's fine. Oh, and actually that works out pretty well. Has disadvantage on wisdom saving throws. Those are the saving throws she's good at, but she does lose her dex bonus to armor class, which is not even an issue right now, because she doesn't have any. Alright. Let's go ahead and use chest trauma. Yeah. Good 80% chance to hit. Nice. And again, chest trauma, disadvantage on constitution saving throws, and has 1 fewer action. So this guy is pretty hosed at the moment. Did miss, but Astarion did get acid on him, so he's going to have decreased AC right now. That's fine, though. With this guy coming out here, I do kind of feel like I need to have a tank in between him and Astarion. Choke points are in D&D too! Alright, let's go ahead and bonus action this up and have this guy get the Hunter's Mark. He's already got chest trauma, so I'm not going to use up rush attack. Although, maybe it's Shadowheart that needs to go over here. Yeah, let's do that. She does have to go onto the grease, but we'll see how this goes. Of course. Oh, I can't get grease to work on bad guys. You know, present company excluded. But it works just fine on my own guys. Lovely. Alright, and let's have the spiritual weapon attack. Oh, man. That's fine. Have the bird do its thing. It is blinded again, and where are we at, Astarion? Okay. This is gonna be a little bit of a mess. Trying to get Astarion with Oh, well, the guy is blinded though. Yeah, heck, let's just stabby stab. Missed. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and Vampire Bite to get the HP back and to get this guy with a Oh, it's not humanoid. It's a giant. I thought that was gonna give him a debuff. That's fine. I should probably disengage and get out of here. Yeah. I wasn't too worried about Astarion going into the grease, because the grease is a dexterity saving throw, and Astarion has super good dex saving throws, so not an issue. Bird's turn is over.
Can't always be a gentleman.
Alright. So now, fire on the grease is definitely out at this point. This guy still has chest trauma for a little while, so we'll hold off on doing any new status effects on this guy. I am going to Ray of Frost this main guy. I guess he was already hamstrung, so he can't really move that much anyway. That's alright. Uh-oh. Ooh, That was a nasty hit. That was a nasty hit. Okay. Think I am going to go ahead and daze this guy. What happens if I move this over? Okay, nothing. Yeah, we're gonna daze this guy. That was a good hit. That was a really good hit. Nice. I don't think my healing radiance will... Yeah, it won't reach Shadowheart. That's a bummer. Okay. Alright, I think that is... Well, actually, let me move around and try to get at least closer to Shadowheart, because I am going to want to have him heal her in a second here. Probably with Channel Oath. Hey, and see, Grease worked again. You see that, y'all? No, part of the reason that I was super excited to use Grease against these ogres, because if you take a look at them, they have a super high strength. So if I try to do something with a strength saving throw, it'd be really crappy. But their dex is only a +1, so pretty good opportunity to get them down. But looking at this, their wisdom's only a 7. So if I have like wisdom saving throws I can toss at them, that's probably going to be the way to go. Which I actually don't think I have any wisdom saving throws, except maybe blindness.
Can't give up.
No, that's a constitution save, which is, again, going to suck. Yeah, their constitution's pretty high. So not great. Not great. What bonus actions does she have? I could have her start the potion of healing chain. I might have her do that. She's pretty low. She's pretty low. I could have her healing word, actually. I'd be pretty good with her healing wording. Let's do that. Let's do that.
Take two.
Because on top of that, that'll give me bless, even though I think the other one would have as well. Yeah, let's stabby stab. Not a great hit. Not a great hit. Oh, and I don't have a bonus action to jump. Of course, because I did the healing. Ah, and spiritual weapon. Good, this guy is almost dead. That is awesome. That's awesome, awesome. While it is down, we're going to go ahead and blind this guy again. Although, should probably try to blind this guy, because he's going to be dead. Nah, we'll just do it. We'll just do it. Yeah.
Let's turn someone inside out.
All right. This should kill him straight up right here.
Mutilate them.
Unless he misses. What in the crud? There we go. All right. We'll have to burn our sleep attack, but that'll at least get us with that guy dead. And we're going to scooch out of the grease. I should have done that a little bit more opportunistically and gotten over here so that we could... Ah, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. He's still stealth. Cool.
A rough tempest I will raise.
And we're looking actually really good. This guy is half health. This guy still has full health, but we're doing pretty good. So let's... I don't even think I need to burn any spell slots with Gale right now. So let's... This guy's name looks like Frank. So we'll Ray of Frost Frank. And have Gale move back. It's a pretty good hit. Not good enough, though. could have... Could have Nerdad move a little bit and get both of these guys... Oh, no, 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 I don't have enough hit points. It needs 33 hit points, okay. Just short rest. Short rest, okay. Yeah, we're gonna blind this guy. It's gonna happen. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Color Spray is another one of those great, great spells. Yeah, so far this is going much better than the spiders, definitely. Color Spray is another one of those great spells that cannot be missed as long as you have the HP totals to target. So... I think what we're gonna do, I'm gonna move back over this way, and I'm gonna try shoving this guy. Too heavy to shove. Never mind, I am not gonna try shoving this guy. Alright, Shadowheart, what do we got? First off, let's get you out of the grease. There we go, much better, much better. And... yeah, 80% chance to hit. And blinded. Critical hit and blinded and a pretty good roll on the crit. Good, good, good. That's great. Tell you what, we will go ahead and drink a potion. Should have done that first so she would have bless. Oh no, she had bless from last turn. Alright, cool. Another critical hit! What is happening? As bad as the rolls were in the spider fight, this is pretty heartening to see all the rolls doing really well on this one. Alright, who do we want to blind? Oh, they're both blinded right now, actually. So, heck, let's just do that 1 damage, I guess. Oh, is that not 1 damage? It's 3 damage. The blinding is 1 damage. Oh, man. Let's have it fly off to the side here so that Astarion has plenty of room.
Feel death's cold grip.
Alright. We're still stealthed. I think I am just going to take a shot from a distance here. Because it's getting a little crowded. Where are we at on... Could just move in.
A better position.
Okay. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and dash, get a little extra movement, and then move in, and this guy is blind. They're both about the same HP. I know. In retrospect, I should have looked back and seen that shoving something that was like 50... But, you know, Nerdad's got a lot of strength. And he's proficient and athletic, so, I mean, it should have worked. It should have worked. Alright. Yes. Stab and stab. I only have 1 bonus action, so that's not quite enough to, Oh, you know what I should have done was dip in acid. I should have done that a while ago. Nah, it's not dippable either. Alright, I'll just... Could use Flourish, but I don't... It refreshes on short rest. Actually, I don't even think I need to take a short rest after this. This is a pretty smooth fight. Yeah, we'll just do a little extra damage.
May the dice roll in my favor.
I do appreciate that Gale says that whole "May the dice roll in my favor." All right, and here we go. Firebolt on this guy, and this should hopefully take him out. Oh, dang! But he missed. But he missed. Dang. Okay. Jeez, Gale. Alright. There we go. That does it.
to let
All right, Shady Heart. Anything special I need to do here? Nah, we'll just... Oh, and it got blinded from that. Hey, that is great. This is going so great. So actually, the blinding, what kind of... fails a dexterity saving throw. Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and move Nerdad up. He can't really do anything, so we'll just end his turn. Yeah, this guy's hosed. He's like surrounded by 5 melee things. Yeah. And let's go ahead for safe measure. Go ahead and blind him again. Critical hit. Oh, I guess I can't blind him again because it's only the blind from the bird is only 1 turn. But this should get us pretty close. 1 HP again, y'all. So this is where it's all going to turn around. He's going to knock out every one of my group except for Astarion, and then we'll be stuck with a 1 HP and 1 character left. I don't want to do that. We'll do Rare Frost because Rare Frost looks cool. All right. Awesome stuff. And we leveled up from that, and let's go ahead and start looting this stuff here. There's Frank. Got a whole chicken. 6 camp supplies is pretty good, though.
Something good here, I hope.
But this right here is why I wanted to actually fight these guys instead of talking them down. So, first off, Scroll of Blur or whatever. Diary of Lump the Enlightened, and then there is Lump's Warhorn. I don't know if this works still with Lump being, you know, all dead, but we'll find out. But here is the main reason I wanted this, and this is the Warped Headband of Intellect, and it sets the wearer's intelligence to 17. This is a really, really, really cool item. But this is why Lump was Lump the Enlightened and why he was so good at speaking, is because he was wearing an item that increased his intelligence to 17. I love stuff like that. It's really good. All right, and we'll go ahead and loot this dead tiefling as well, just to see what is going on here. Got a tarnished locket, quarterstaff, thieves' tools. Does this open up? No, it does not. But I think I don't really know who to give this to. Gil, I think, only has 16 intellect right now, or intelligence right now. But a 17 is gonna make no difference from a 16. So this will help out with a lot of knowledge checks, which oftentimes have a tendency to pop up in dialogue. So I might just give it to Nerdad. Nerdad, I think, is... Because, again, a lot of these intelligence checks pop up in dialogue. So yeah, what does he have equipped right now? Start of combat, the wearer gains momentum for 3 turns. That's pretty good. This is a... Actually, this would be really good on Astarion. Yeah. Plus, it looks super cool. I don't like most of the helmets that they have in this game, or at least the way that they look. So I usually turn off the showing the helmets. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give this to Nerdad, and we are gonna check out and see what that does for it. See, look at all that. +3 to all those intelligence checks. Beautiful. Cool. Plus, he's got that bonus to insight. The only thing he does not have any like super good is perception, which is something I would really want. Medicine would also be good for him to have. It's all good. All good. All right, and with that, we're going to go ahead and level everybody up because everybody is level-able.
All's well that ends. Not as bad as it could have.
Level 4 is for casters. Well, not like a caster like this, but like the hard casters. A really good one too because you get an extra cantrip. All right. Oh, and you get a new feat, which is a huge deal. I'm not going to change up my prepared spell. I did get an extra one. I'm not going to make it Searing Smite, though. I'm going to do Compelled Duel. All right. So feats. I've never talked about feats before. But every 4th level, you get to choose whether you are going to increase your ability scores by 2, or just 2 points total. So you can like increase, I could increase strength up to 18, or I could increase strength and charisma to both 17, or I could just increase charisma to 17 or 18 or whatever. Whatever. You have 2 ability points that you can just distribute however you want to, and that's this ability improvement. What I would like very much to do with Nerdad is have him get Sentinel and Polearm Master and probably Great Weapon Master. This one, let's see, land a critical hit. Yeah. All right, so let's break these down a little bit. Sentinel is like the tank ability in this game, or tank feat in this game. So when an enemy within melee range attacks an ally, you use a reaction to do an opportunity attack against that enemy. And then you also gain advantage on your opportunity attacks. And if you hit a creature with an opportunity attack, it can't move anymore. This makes you so sticky. So sticky. I like min-maxing on my characters, if that's not entirely obvious. This is what I do and how I do. I'm all about min-maxing my characters. So anyway, Sentinel. This makes it so that if a creature does decide to move out of your melee range, you have a very, very good chance of keeping it in your melee range. And not only that, but it also makes them think twice before they attack anything other than you. Really, really good feat. Let me talk about another really, really good feat. And this is Polearm Master. So when attacking with a glaive, halberd, quarterstaff, or spear, you can use a bonus action to attack with the butt of your weapon. This is just flat out really good. Bonus actions are pretty rare to come across, and having opportunities to have an extra bonus action is really good. But here's the deal. You can also make an opportunity attack when a target comes within your range. And you do have an extended range whenever you use, like, glaive, halberds, and spears. So this will give you lots of opportunity to do opportunity attacks. And the next thing that I'll be looking at for Nerdad is Great Weapon Master. So when you land a critical hit or kill a target with a melee weapon attack, you can make another melee weapon attack as a bonus action that turn. And again, super useful to have bonus actions pop up whenever they can. Attacks with melee weapons you are proficient with and are wielding in both hands can deal an additional 10 damage at the cost of a -5 attack roll penalty. And you can toggle that on and off. So I'm really torn on this, but I don't generally do ability score improvements with paladins. I might. I very much might with this particular paladin because having a high charisma is so important for selling and buying stuff, because that does increase the amount of gold that you get for selling stuff and it decreases the amount of gold that you get for buying stuff. So it will be a big conservation of gold. Conservation of gold is not a huge deal because the way that I'm playing, I'm picking up absolutely everything and selling it, so I'm not going to have like a lack of gold. So again, the ability score improvement, not super important. However, this Great Weapon Master, I don't want to be wielding weapons in both hands in general, which is going to put a little bit of a limit on my polearm mastery a bit, but this is a big deal. Like, this is a ton of extra damage, and the -5 to attack roll is not that significant if you can always have advantage, which we always try to. But the critical hit or killing things with a melee weapon attack, and then you get a free attack as a bonus action, that's really good. That's really good. So Great Weapon Master, I have plenty of levels to think about this. If I do take it, it will be at level 12, so I have a long time before I think about that. For now, I am absolutely picking Sentinel. I want Nerdad to be a little bit more tanky. I want him to be a lot more sticky, so we'll be doing that one. Next up, Shadowheart. So Shadowheart gets an extra spell slot, gains a cantrip, and then has an extra feat. This will be pretty straightforward. I do wish that it would show you the cantrips that you have so that you can, have all the information that you need in order to make this decision. So Larian, please fix that. Come on now. Thaumaturgy, gain advantage on intimidation and performance checks. I will never be doing that with her, so that is absolutely out. Light, I have that from my hirelings. I have that from Gale. I do not need light. Blade Ward, take only half the damage from bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing attacks. This lasts for 2 turns. This one, it's nice. It is nice to be able to have resistance against bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing, because those are definitely the most common attacks that you're going to end up with, but you do have to sacrifice an action in order to do it. This is a really tanky sort of thing if your tank is specifically not designed to dish out damage, but instead to take damage. Shadowheart is not really designed to take damage. I want that more Nerdad, because, again, I gave Nerdad the Sentinel feat just now. Even with that being the case, that will still likely be the thing that I take here, because the next option is Produce Flame. It does Shine Light in a 30-foot radius, and then it also does 1d8 fire damage whenever you throw the thing, throw the flame that is produced in your hand. I already have a better fire spell in the form of Firebolt, thanks to Shadowheart being a half-elf, and I already have light in plenty of places, so this is just not worth having. So that leaves my only option being Blade Ward. Yeah, these are super mid cantrips. If I did not have Firebolt, and if I did not have like light already on my hireling and on Gale, Produce Flame is fantastic. It's really good. It's really, really good. Because, I mean, light's important to have. Absolutely. And 1d8 fire damage is, average for cantrip. It's not as good as Firebolt is, but it's as good as you will get on a cleric. So, Produce Flame is typically really, really good. It's just not good in this particular situation because I can do both of those effects in a better way through some of their cantrips. So yeah, it is going to be Blade Ward. Prepare spells. I'm happy with the spell. Actually, no, I'm not happy with the spells because I do not want Protect Poison. She gained an extra spell slot, so it automatically pick the first thing on the level 2 list, so I don't want to do that. We are going to do... If I need Prayer of Healing, I'll just switch it out outside of combat. Silence would be nice. Enhanceability would be nice. We're gonna do... Hold Person, though. Not super great options. Actually, you know what? I'm not even going to take Hold Person. I'm going to switch it up to something like this. I'll do Shield of Faith. I'll do Shield of Faith. Because it's a concentration, but it is until long rest. The thing I have to be super, super, super careful with for Shield of Faith, and actually this is kind of making me think that I should not take it. So Shield of Faith lasts until long rest. You burn a spell slot, you get a +2 to, like anybody gets a +2 to their AC until that long rest, but the concentration aspect of it means that I can't cast guidance anymore. And if I accidentally cast guidance, I lose an entire, spell slot worth of stuff. And actually talking about it making me think that maybe I shouldn't do that. We'll do Bane instead. Bane's a pretty good spell. All right. And for her feat, I am absolutely going to do an ability score improvement, because ability scores on hard casters is incredibly important. So yeah, we're going to increase her wisdom. Ability score improvements for the primary ability on a caster means that they get extra spell slots. It means that they get an increase to the target DC for their saving throws. So that makes their spells a lot harder to resist. It helps on their what do you call it? Their attack rolls whenever they have targeted spells. It's just, you absolutely want to have your spellcasters with as high of their primary ability as possible. So really similar situation with Gale. He gains an extra cantrip. Light is absolutely out. True Strike. So True Strike, you gain advantage on your next attack roll, but it requires an action to cast. So it's, I'd rather just cast twice. Friends, I'm not going to have Gale ever communicating with people. Dancing Lights, he's going to have light cast on him, so I don't need a mobile, temporary form of light. Blade Ward, I've already talked about Blade Ward. So I think because he has got Poisoner's Robe on, I am going to go ahead. I never do this, but I'm taking Poison Spray. Plus, it's a 1d12. It is a Constitution save, which is a crappy save to be saving against. But, again, he'll do extra damage with it because of the Poisoner's Robe. So that's entirely where my decision is being based on here. All right. 2 new spells and 2 new level 2 spells even. So what we're going to do is we're going to take Mirror Image. Mirror Image is a fantastic spell. And I'm checking my spell notes here. I've got Blindness. I've got Misty Step. I have Invisibility as well. Let's see. So potential options are like Phantasmal Force. I've got Blur already. I've got Web already. I've got pretty much all the spells that I would want from level 2, which is really good. Crown of Madness. Oh, I have Crown of Madness as well. Great. Yeah, this is really cool. So options here, definitely taking Mirror Image. Phantasmal Force or Enlarge. Well, yeah, okay. So spells, I definitely won't take like the pure damage stuff, but like cantrips. Cantrips, I want to have as many of the pure damage cantrips as possible, because I don't want to spend a spell slot just doing damage. I can have Astarion do damage as much as I want. So I don't want to spend a spell slot to do just damage. I want to have a significant effect whenever I use up a spell slot. If I'm going to be using up a spell slot, dang it. So cantrips, I'm totally fine taking pure damage cantrips. And especially because you might end up, let's say you've got Firebolt and you're traipsing around and you run across something that is resistant to fire. That means that your cantrip is now pretty much worthless. So you want to have an additional cantrip that does a totally different type of damage to do that. Plus, if you run across something that has like fire vulnerability, it's nice to have those options in case, you run across those resistances and vulnerabilities. So absolutely, I will take damage cantrips. Whenever I'm playing D&D and don't have the advantage of being able to like learn cantrips from scrolls, which again, I will repeat, is overpowered, I will typically have 2 damage cantrips, just to kind of like spread the damage types around, and then I'll have like 2 effect cantrips as well. All right. So anyway, choice right now is between Phantasmal Force and Enlarge. So Enlarge, make a creature larger or smaller to affect their weapon damage and strength checks and saving throws. So you make something in like larger, it will do way more damage, and it will also have like effects on their, like they'll have bonuses to their strength checks and their strength saving throws. This is really good for melee characters. Not necessarily Astarion, but like Shadowheart and for Nerdad. It is a concentration spell. You can also reduce things to have it do less damage. I don't use it as much for that. The other option is Phantasmal Force. So deal damage to a creature each turn. The type of damage changes to the last type the creature suffered. So this has a pretty long effect. It is a concentration spell. And I'll talk about another really cool advantage with this as well. But the damage changing to the last type that the creature suffered, if I'm intentionally trying to target vulnerabilities or avoid resistances on my damage types, that will mean that Phantasmal Force will always be either hitting vulnerabilities if the creature has a vulnerability or avoiding resistances, which is really good, But here's the really cool thing about Phantasmal Force. It is an int save. Those are really, really, really rare. And not only is it really rare, but many, 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 many things that I will be fighting have really low intelligence scores. So this means that I will almost always hit with Phantasmal Force if I'm playing it smart enough, which I will be, because I've never totally screwed up on Gale spells. So I think I am going to go ahead and take Phantasmal Force as my second spell here. All right. Prepare spells. I am going to go ahead and have Detect Thoughts on there again. Ray of Sickness against Poison. I'm going to keep that up there just in case. I'm going to take off Fog Cloud. And I'm going to put on Mirror Image. I didn't really talk about Mirror Image, but Mirror Image... Well, I have in episodes past, but Mirror Image creates 3 duplicates of yourself, and for every duplicate, it increases your armor class by 3. If something attacks you and you evade the attack, which you're absolutely going to do with such a high AC, one of the duplicates disappears. So it's a really good way of giving enemies a really, really hard time to hit you for like basically 3 attacks. It's really, really good spell. All right, and we will leave that there. And feat. So same deal with Gale. We're absolutely going to increase his intelligence. Wizards are one of the few classes where you can like dedicate yourself to a single ability, intelligence, and be totally fine. Rogue is another one where you can dedicate yourself to a single ability, dexterity, and be really, really good. And druids are another one where you can dedicate yourself to just wisdom and be super, super good. Not many classes can do that. Most classes need 2, whether that 2 is like constitution or a dexterity if it's not dexterity already. So, all right, and so again, highly, highly, highly recommend increasing a rogue's dexterity all the way up to 20 before you even think about putting feats. But once his is up to 20, I likely will take a feat with him. I'm not sure which one I'm going to do yet. Dual wielder might be. Oh no, not dual wielder, not dual wielder. Crossbow expert would be a good one. Sharpshooter. I'm thinking about switching. Not switching, but like having Astarion focus a little bit more on ranged attacks, especially once I get a second hand crossbow. But Sharpshooter would be really good for that. So you ignore low ground penalties, and you can also do that same thing you can do with like the great weapon fighter, where if you are proficient with the weapon, which he will be, you can, if you want, Take a -5 penalty to the attack roll, but deal an additional 10 damage, which is awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So yeah, I will likely be transitioning Astarion into... You know, yeah, I'll be transitioning him to more melee as soon as I get a second hand crossbow. All right, cool. And if you'll notice, because I did increase Shadowheart's wisdom and Gale's intellect, they have a whole extra spell slot to cram a spell into. So, we're going to go ahead and we are going to put in... we're going to go ahead and put in Shield of Faith. I know I talked about Shield of Faith. It's still a really good spell. I just have to be really, really careful with it, not to override it with a guidance.
Elminster's not around.
And then for Gale... Oh, we're definitely sticking blindness in there. Cool. Actually, it's worth looking. Do I have any spells that are wisdom saves? Crown of Madness is a wisdom save. Okay, I gotta keep that in mind. That's a con save. So I like spreading my saves out a little bit. What was that? Oh, that's... It's an int save. I probably should stick that in there. Ray of Sickness is a con save. Alright. Tasha's Hideous Laughter is a wisdom save. Okay, so that one would be a really good one. So we'll keep that on there. We'll keep that on there. Alright, cool. Cool. And with that, my bird is still up, but I am going to go ahead and cast Detect Thoughts on Gale, just to have that ready to go, in case I need it. And you know what? I don't think that I am going to take a short rest. I think that was well enough. I'm going to eat some of these good berries, though. And boom! 2 good berries, and she is back up to full health. And everybody is doing pretty good. We have a level 1 slot and a level 2 slot used up for her, a level 1 slot used up for him, and yeah. Everybody is super good. We did use some weapon abilities, but I'm not going to miss those too much. Alright, with that, we're going to go ahead and finish up for today. Next time, we're going to continue exploring the Blighted Village. There are some pretty, very significant things to explore in the Blighted Village. And, yeah. With that, we'll go ahead and end. Thank y'all. If you like this content, be sure to like. I appreciate it.